Welcome to our Thursday live Q&A. Come on in, tag somebody you care about, because we're about to talk some serious money. As you come in, type $signs if you are committed to your money, if you are committed to saving money, if you are committed to protecting your money. Come on in. Hey, Jay, I see you. Good to see you. Let's make sure we got what we need on Instagram. Hold on. We're going to get started in about 60 seconds. Give a lot of people time to come on in. We do these live broadcasts to make sure. That you have everything you need to save money on a car. Who's car shopping right now, or who will be in the next couple months? I see you, Danny. Good to see you. How's audio? Can I get a signal on all platforms that audio is clear? Can everybody give me a signal? Audio is clear? Clear? Hold on. Audio is clear. Let me just go share this broadcast. Listen, while I'm sharing this broadcast, could the sharers share as well? I know it's a couple people who are always sharing and helping get this message out. I appreciate you all. So tag somebody and start to type your questions. All right, I see clear on Facebook. Clear. Did I get a signal? Clear on Instagram. Beautiful. All right, start typing your questions in. I'm just sharing the broadcast to our Facebook followers. Hold on. Where we at? My headphones just went off for no reason. Still wait. Headphones just went off for no reason. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure I have my headphones attached to TikTok. I just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. All right, let me go in here and let's just start typing your questions. We're going to get to them in about 15 seconds. I just got to make sure we do all the housekeeping. This live segment is sponsored by my new book. It's a digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So while we are here for the next 30 minutes, you'll be able to get it for 75% off. We're already rated 5 stars on Goodreads. Well, 4.94 stars to be exact. But we've been able to do very well on Goodreads. Thank you to everybody who has reviewed it. Now, you'll be able to get a copy for the next 30 minutes at 75% off. It's normally $97. But while we're on the broadcast, the next 30 minutes, you can get you a copy. So while we're getting things set up to get started, you want to click my TikTok bio and grab your copy. You want to click the Instagram bio. There's a website in my bio. Or you could go to deshonsbook.com or scan the QR code. Get your copy, because sometimes people miss the countdown and the price goes back to 75, goes back up to $97. Hold on, Instagram. Hold on. I'm trying to tag. Hold on. We got to do what we do. Let's get the tech right. Oh, let me put on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. All right, here we go. Bang. All right. Do Not Disturb. Okay, let's get to it now. Let me get back. Okay, let's get to it. Book is amazing and quite insightful. Thank you, Dr. Cherry. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, let's get these questions going. We'll be taking questions from all 4 platforms, and I'll just be rotating them all throughout the show. All right. Should I buy a new S-Class 2024 Rolls Royce? That's a matter of personal preference. If you're not keeping it 8 years, then you're going to lose thousands of dollars buying it. You should be shopping for an aggressive lease. What do car rebates mean? Skylar, good question. Skylar on TikTok asked, what are car rebates? Rebates are when a manufacturer wants to incentivize you to buy a new car. They're not on used cars. So if you're leasing or if you're purchasing a new car, some cars have rebates, some don't. Bad thing about the rebates is they're in the control of the dealer. So you won't really see you won't see all the rebates advertised. You won't know if their car has rebates. You can't ask Because sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes they'll tell you some. The only way to reveal the rebates is to get multiple offers. When you start getting multiple offers, you'll see the rebates because your best offer, whoever beats it, whoever wins the bid, that best offer is going to have any applicable rebates. Okay, so you don't just want, and listen, rebates are different than the dealer discount. Discount comes from the dealer. Rebates come from the manufacturer that they give to the dealer to pass along to the customer. Except every dealer doesn't pass them along to the customer. All right, let's go. Instagram, how we look. The best thing to do is, here's how you do it. When you like type your question, but don't send it until you see me answer. When I'm finishing a question, as soon as I finish it, then you send it, because then I'll be able to send it. Then I'll be able to see it. All right. All right, I see a lot of people on Instagram. Type your questions. My car was totaled and hold on, let me make the screen bigger here. Listen to this, man. I saved almost $200 a month on my lease. I love to hear that. Congratulations, Mr. Graw. I have a 590 credit score, but my pre-approval said that I have to put down 25 to 3,000. How can I not put down payment down? Hey, you might not be able to. You got to realize that, you know, I would shop another lender. Try Lend Buzz, new company, startup. The reviews are good. Lend, Lend, Buzz. If you have, you know, you try them. You got to realize any one of you could get a car with no down payment, but there's two people who can't. And that's if you have too much negative equity. If you're trying to move $5,000 or $10,000 over to another car, sometimes that's going to put you above the bank's loan to value ratio. So if you're buying a $30,000 car and you're trying to throw 7,000 of negative equity on top of that, they might look at you and say, we can't do that. You could have an 800 score. We can't do that because the loan to value ratios are too high. The bank's not going to lend $40,000 on a $30,000 car, because let's really break down real quick what a no money down deal is. That means you're financing the price of the car, the taxes, and the fees. So let's say you purchase a $30,000 car, taxes are $2,500. You got another, you know, $700, $1,000 in fees, documentation fee, and your motor vehicle fees. That puts you about 33 right there. So just about, so to finance, you can finance 33. That's under the loan to value. The bank will lend 33,000 on a car that's worth 30. Problem is, when you try to do that and then you want to slap $7,000 of negative equity on there, what you're asking the bank to do is lend 40 on a car that's worth 30. They're not going to do it. Doesn't matter what your credit is. So those are the only situations where you can't do these no money down deals. You have too much negative equity, or your lender won't do it because of the credit. Work on your credit. Follow Shonda Martin. Take your credit seriously. It's costing you. And, you know, everybody hits a bump in the road, but the key is don't stay there. Follow somebody like Shonda Martin, learn what she teaches, fix the credit, get yourself up to like a 660, 670, 680. That'll get you out of the manipulation zone. All right. Let's see. Facebook. So does your credit score matter at all? Absolutely. Absolutely, it does. If your credit score is around 730, is this a good candidate for a good lease deal? Definitely. 730, you qualify for most tier ones. 680, 690, you qualify for most tier ones. You don't have to have a 900 credit score to lease. I got to figure out, I want y'all to inbox me, and I want y'all to tell me what we could do for the people who share the broadcast and support the broadcast. Because I've been thinking about this. If y'all have any ideas, I might do a priority Q&A. I just have to, because here's the thing, y'all. I reward those that help me. I reward those. I love the people that get the book. That's the biggest thing, because I want you to learn these strategies. My book is called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a 7-step process. Doesn't matter whether you're leasing, buying, and it's a digital book. So you get your copy at 75% off. It'll be in your inbox in literally 2 minutes, and you'll have everything I teach. But inbox me some ideas of something we could do for our community of people who share. I want to reward the people who share the broadcast and who tag friends. All right. Hello. I'll be doing a purchase order through my credit union. How do I get the best price on a Mercedes? Multiple offers. Multiple offers. It's the only way to get the best price. You need to get at least 5 offers. Anyone who's learned from me knows that you need 5 offers to reveal the best deal, because 80% of dealers are overpriced. I know it sounds crazy, but I've been working with people around the country since 2021, shopping for cars. They post their offers. I look at their offers. We have a group, and we have seen that that's the numbers. 80% of dealers are overpriced. That's it. So in order for you to reveal the best deal, you must shop multiple offers. Oh, why is my camera fuzzy? Hold on. Wipe my lens off, see if that clears us up. All right, let's go, y'all. Keep the questions coming. This is YouTube. How should I think about buying out-of-state cars with damage, accident, and its history? It depends. If first of all, buying out of state, I want y'all to get used to it. If you are using what I'm teaching you, you're going to get very used to buying out of state, because oftentimes the out of state dealers are going to do better deals than the dealers close to you. Sometimes, that's again multiple offers, because sometimes the dealers that are close to you feel like they own you. When they see your zip code, they're like, okay, this person lives right here. When you buy out of state, what you're doing is you are actually giving a dealer who never would have had a shot to earn your business, you're giving them a shot. And sometimes they respect that shot, they appreciate it, and they'll make it their mission to beat all their competition. So I want you to get familiar with buying out of state. Now, when it comes to buying used cars, here's what you're doing. Same process. Remember this. We screen cars down like this. Title history first. You can identify a good used car. First of all, look at pictures. You see a bunch of damage, that's the first screen. Then we're going to dive deep. We're going to look at the title. Deshone, how do we get the title, you might be asking? Okay, this is how you're going to get the title. History, Carfax, not auto check, because auto check is not going to show you what we need, which is service records. You must see service records. There's no indicator that can replace service records. I don't care. If there's no service records on that used car, consistent, I'm not buying the car. I wouldn't recommend you buy the car, because if you miss 15 to 20,000 miles of service, you could seriously have done damage to the car. So first thing is we need the Carfax. How are we going to get it? I have a secret strategy that I teach that you only hear from me. I'm going to give it to you now. When you're shopping on these marketplaces, we shop on all of them. We use 8 marketplaces. Cars.com, Car Gurus, Auto Trader, Carfax.com, Driveway, eBay Motors will check, Carvana and CarMax. See, because even though I know 70, 80%, 90% of the time CarMax and Carvana is overpriced, it's not 100% of the time. So it's like I compare CarMax to Best Buy. Most of the time I'm going to get something, we're going to get it from Amazon, we're going to get it from Walmart.com. Very rarely is Best Buy going to be the best deal on something, but every now and then Best Buy is the best. So if you're not checking them, you're leaving money on the table. So we open up those marketplaces. You're not going to see, sometimes you'll see Carfax included, and sometimes you'll see purchase a Carfax. What we do is we skip, you don't know this, but now you're about to know this. Most dealers have a contract with Carfax. So on their website is the Carfax, not on the marketplace that they're paying to advertise the car. It's on their website. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop off the marketplace, go to the dealer's website, and we're going to look to see if they have the Carfax there. Once we get it there, we can see the Carfax. We can see if it's a frame damage vehicle. We can see if it's a X rental, if it's a salvage title. That's the first indicator. Then we move to service records. Then we look at accident history. If the accident is a couple different types of accidents, this is all in my book. If you don't want to remember this, you're like, Deshone, I don't have time. I got to go back to work. You grab your copy of the book in my TikTok bio, 75% off. As long as it's not, you didn't hit 0 yet. And in my Instagram bio, or go to DeshonesBook.com, scan the QR code. Anyway, get your book for 75% off. Be in your inbox in 2 minutes. So now we're scaling it down. And then once we look at the accident history, there's 3 different types. You're going to see something that says accident, but vehicle was drivable. That's a good sign. Because people could have a fender bender in Walmart. If the cops are called, it's going to be on the Carfax. Anything where the cops are called, it's on the Carfax. So what you have to be able to do is discern through wisdom and through understanding, is this a serious accident or was this a fender bender? If the vehicle was drivable, that means it left the scene of the accident drivable. If it says vehicle towed, red flag. I don't get those. If it says airbags deployed, red flag. I don't get those. So, those are the things. And when you do that, you'll have confidence, even if you're buying a used car out of state, and then we verify the fees. We verify what the original MSRP was, so we know what the discount is. You need to know. Look, y'all, how many people have bought a used car in their life? Type U. If you've bought a used car in your life or you plan to buy a used car, I want you to type a U. I'm about to tell you something. There's many people who are never going to tell you how to truly know a great price on a used car. This is something I created. We call this the true value percentage. The true value percentage is not the discount the dealer is giving you. It's the discount from the price when it was new. Very important. There's nothing more important. You don't have a good deal unless you got a big discount off of the price when it was new. See, the dealer could give you a discount. When I was shopping for my Infiniti, some of you know, I had 4 Infinitis I narrowed it down to. When I pulled the price of each one brand new, the one I ended up getting was $54,000 brand new, and it was a 42% discount from when it was new. The other ones, the price they were asking was a little lower, but the original price of the vehicles was also lower. One was 46, one was 48, one was 52. So if I would have bought any of those cars because the asking price was a little lower, $1,000 lower, I would have not truly gotten the best deal. The best used car deal is the one with the greatest percentage discount from the original price. That's what we do. Let's go. Keep the questions coming, y'all. Let's keep it going. We're going to try to get through as many as we possibly can. Let's go. Is cardiac reports? I'm guessing you meant Carfax reports, or should we look into other websites? Carfax is what we use. That's what I was just talking about. We don't really use anything but Carfax because when we find another report that'll get us the service records, then we'll use that too, or we'll use that instead of Carfax. What to do if you're $11,000 upside down on a 4-month-old loan? Stay in the car. Stay in the car. Cars are not made to be flipped that fast. Stay in the car. Why are you trying to get out of a car that you just got 4 months ago? And somebody told you could do that and not lose tons of money. I'm telling you that you can find a dealer. Even if you found a dealer that would shoehorn you into a car, bad for you. So you can't buy a car that quick. Y'all know who's been on here, who's seen the depreciation curve. So as some of you tune back in, and somebody, if this is your first time on a live with me, type a 1. First time. What we talk about is something that you got to understand. It's called the depreciation curve. Your vehicle goes down in value like this from the day you buy it. You buy it today here, it's dropping like this. Now, about 7 to 8 years, it starts to look like this, which means after about 7 to 8 years, the same price your car was worth last year is going to be close to that. If it was worth $10,000 last year, it's going to probably be worth about $9,000 this year, $9,200. You're not losing that much because you've outlived the depreciation. This is for long-term owners. I see all the people. Can we send a welcome to the first-time people? Everybody who's been on here, can you send a welcome to the people who've here for the first time? We got a lot of people here for the first time. Okay, everybody who's you've tuned in before, just type welcome. This is the depreciation curve. So if you are buying cars and you're switching them in this period, which is the 2 to 7 years, you shouldn't be buying cars. You should be shopping for leases, aggressive leases. Not these leases that you see on commercials. Those are not deals. But if you are like, Deshone, I want to keep my car that long, that's when you win. Who has a car outside that's been outside? They've owned it for at least 8 years. Type of K for keeper. We call those cars keepers. That's a car we're not planning to switch. We don't care about the depreciation because our plan is to use up most of the value. Y'all follow me? When you are buying a car and your goal is it's going to be a keeper, you think about the depreciation curve. That's what you think about. And if you're not going to keep that car long enough to have that depreciation level out, you shouldn't be buying it, because that's where the reward is. That's when you've won. It's not when you paid off the car. You can pay off the car in 2 years. Don't mean the car ain't losing value like this. You've won when you've made it to this part of the depreciation curve. That's when you've won. If you have no goal, Deshone, I'm not keeping a car that long, then you should be shopping for an aggressive lease. I know they told you leases were bad. They lied to you. And they lied in ignorance. They didn't know. But they talk like they did. I call it confidently wrong. We call that confidently incorrect. Dangerous. Yeah, you definitely. 2012 Ford Sports Track, definitely. Good job. All right. How do you shop for a lease anyway? Aggressively. Multiple offers. Multiple offers. As I said when we started the show, when you start shopping, you're going to see what I'm about to tell you to be true. 80% of dealers are overpriced. But we don't care about the 80%. We care about the 20% that are going to make us the best deals. And you're not going to see that until you shop multiple offers. You could do it my way. I teach to do it online. In my book, I have a strategy called the 25 to 5. This is for new cars and leases. We connect with 25 dealers online. Takes us about 20 minutes. Deshone, that sounds crazy. Yep. Because when you know what to do, what to say, and you're using my templates, which are copy and paste. First template is my initial contact, when we tell the dealers what we want. Great. Another benefit of shopping 25 to 5, not just to get 5 offers. The goal of the 25 is to get 5 offers. We're shopping out of 25 dealers' inventories. So while I'm looking for a black Honda Accord, and I'm shopping out of 25 dealers' inventories, you're looking for a black Honda Accord, and you're going into one dealer. They might tell you, oh, we don't have that one. You go into another dealer, oh, we don't have it. We're touching 25 dealers. So we're shopping out of 25 inventories. Now, once you do that, that's my way. Using my scripts, everything is online. You're not talking. You're just copy and pasting. My scripts are in my book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. Digital book. Down. That's another reason it can't be print. There's so many reasons why I couldn't make it a print book. Can't update it. But that's another reason. I have my scripts in there. You open up the link, it opens a document, and you copy and paste. Now, a secondary way to do it's not as effective, but it's still better than the old way of shopping, is you're going to test drive your car. Once you decide what you want, you come home and you call sales managers. Hey, can I speak to the sales manager? And you're getting at least 5 offers. I wouldn't speak to a salesman, because all they're going to do is just put you through hoops, and it's going to be painful. Speak to a sales manager, 5 offers, and then you make your decision. That's how you shop for an aggressive lease. Now, if you get 5 offers and the lease deal is over 1.5%, some of you know about the 1.5% rule. That's when you know you've overpaid. You're overpaying for a lease. That means it's a bad lease program. Couple vehicles out here have bad lease programs, and people are leasing them. You're overpaying. You're overpaying. You're paying too much for a car you're giving back. Do you ever visit car auctions? I don't. Let's go. Instagram. Can you still apply the 1.5% rule on a new build vehicle to lease? 1.5% rule is a rule that you need to keep in mind whether you lease a car you ordered or whether it's a car on the lot. 1.5% rule doesn't change. Deshone, what about if it's a Bentley? 1.5% rule doesn't change. You're paying too much for a car. Leasing is a value play. The name of the game with a lease is to drive the most car and pay small amounts of money for it. When I was leasing my 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, $35,000 car, I paid $330 a month. Under 1%. Under 1%. Over the course of 39 months, I believe I paid about $10,000, $9,000 and change. Just all you do is take 330 times 39. That's how much I paid over 39 months for a $35,000 car. Value play. Value play. Once you, the higher percentage you pay of the car over that lease term, the less value there is. And when you get to 1.5%, there's no value. We pass on those deals. We go pick another car. When we lease, we usually have 3 options. In my book, you'll hear me say it in these lives. I like 3 options. And if you can't find 3 options, I guarantee you, you're not going out there test driving cars. You identify one car, you're like, I like that. Go drive the competitors. Take a weekend, have some fun. Go drive a bunch of cars. You're about to make a $40,000, $50,000 decision. Go drive some cars. You know how many people have said to me, Deshone, I want that. I'm like, did you drive it? They're like, no, I just saw it. I like it. I said, go drive it. They get there and they're like, yeah, I drove it. I didn't really like it. Now think about if you would have bought that car. You'd have been like 3 months later, 6 months. How could I get out of it? So we do ourselves a disservice because we're not shopping. And I know why you don't shop is because you've been programmed to be nervous shopping. You do it what you do my way. Here's a rule you never break. Never talk numbers inside the dealership. If you remember that rule, you can test drive and be out of there in 20 minutes, never feel pressure. And then you come home and you make your deals from home. Yeah, we're taking questions from we on 4 platforms. Yeah, confidently incorrect. You like that, right? When you see somebody, that's what I call them. Speak with bold. Never lease a car. Leasing is the most expensive way to own a car. Confidently incorrect. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous combination. Dangerous to yourself and others. All right, let's see. I got pre-qualified for a loan with Carvana. We don't use Carvana pre-approvals. Listen, this is a great question. It wasn't a question. It was just something somebody typed. Remember this term, y'all. Restricted pre-approvals. What are restricted pre-approvals? The benefit of shopping the way you're going to start shopping is you're going to see the whole market, which means wherever the best price car is, you're going to go get it. There are people who know that you're now getting into pre-approvals. They know you're now getting more savvier. So what happens is it's a new iteration of the old techniques, which is how can we limit them? In this new day and age, we're going to create something that restricts them, but seemingly gives them freedom. We'll pre-approve you, but you can only use it at Carvana. We'll pre-approve you, but you're going to deal with our dealer network. Restricted pre-approvals, they're trash. Carvana's one of them. Capital One Auto Navigator, because those of you with bad credit, you get pre-approved with Capital One Auto Navigator, and what do they tell you? Go to our dealer network. Now, that dealer network is in bed with Capital One, and they know you're sending us these bad credit people who depend on us to find them the car. It's a money play. It's not a play of, oh, let's find them the best car for the money. Let's find them a car with the biggest discount. It's like, hey, send them to us, and it's a conveyor belt. Send them to us. We'll send them out in a car. That car is not going to be the best price car in the market. So any pre-approval that restricts where you can buy is garbage. Now, what's normal is we're not going to let you buy a 10-year-old car. That's normal. Them not letting you buy a car with, 10 years old, or not letting you buy a car with more than 80,000 miles, that's different. These are boundaries, not restrictions. Boundaries are different than restrictions. Restrictions mean you're going to go deal with our guys. You're going to go deal with the guys we're affiliated with. So you don't want those types of pre-approvals. A real pre-approval, you can go and find your car anywhere. You go find the best price and you take the deal down. All right. What is the best way to end a lease? John, we never end a lease without doing an equity assessment. This one's from Facebook. We never end a lease without doing an equity assessment. Could y'all keep shooting the lights up on TikTok? You spending time with us, just keep tapping the screen, because what you're doing is you're letting TikTok know we talking something over here that a lot more people need to hear, and they just keep sending more people. So appreciate y'all running those lights up. Just keep tapping the screen. Yeah, we never end a lease without doing. Listen, I want y'all to be honest. I'm the bad news first person. I'm not here to. Some of the things you're going to hear from me: the 1.5% rule, the way you shop, rebates you didn't know about. you're going to come to yourself and say, not understanding leasing, you're going to say, dag, I've already lost money. So that's okay. So, but it's my job to share not just the new strategies, but the bad news, so you stop doing that. Who's returned a lease, just dropped it off at the dealership before? Like, type me if you've dropped the lease off and just, either left it with them, or you just, you got a new lease from them and just dropped the old one off. Okay, a lot of people. So I'm telling you that you can never return a lease again. First of all, from 2020 to 2022, into the pandemic, we had people selling leases. I sold my Jeep, that same Jeep Grand Cherokee lease I was telling you all about. I sold it and I made $10,200. Now, during that time, prices on cars were up $7,000 to $15,000. 12 to 15 were like the trucks. If you had a truck, a pickup truck or SUV, they were worth like 12 to 15 grand more than the normal price. Cars were worth 7 to 10 grand more. So it made resale values high. Whenever a car's resale value is high, you got a high likelihood of making money selling it at the end of the lease. But you can never return a lease without doing an equity assessment again. And here's how you do it. This is step 2 in my process. In my book, it's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's step by step. Step 1 is you need to know whether you're leasing or purchasing, because that's the foundation. Step 2 is the car you have, we have to see what position. Is there any money in it? Is there any equity in it? Or is there negative equity? You can't have negative equity in a lease, but if you have a loan, you could have negative equity. So here's how you do it. You need to call the bank, see how much you owe. That's called a payoff. Don't look at your contract. Don't say, Deshone, I look on my paperwork, the residual value says this. No, you need to see how much you need a payoff, because the residual value is not going to include any payments, anything. You need a payoff. If you're going to call, you're going to ask for your payoff. If you have a lease, you're going to ask another question. Do I have a third-party restriction? There's 3 types of there's 3 types of equity assessments. One is for cash, for people who have paid off cars. If you have a paid off car or a loan, that's one equity assessment. If you have a lease, that's the second equity assessment. If you have a lease with a third party restriction, that's the third. So what you're doing is, once you get that payoff, you're now going to go to the online car buyers and you're going to get your bids. If you're new here, everything we do is a bid. That's how we save all the money we save. We're going to save more money bidding than you'll ever try to get negotiating. So when we go to the bid, we're going to CarMax, we're going to Carvana, we're going to Driveway, we're going to AutoNation, Buy My Car, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, Car Gurus, Sell My Car. 6 offers. That's 6 offers. Once, if you are in the first 2 groups, you own your car, or it's paid off, you can sell to the highest bidder, no problem. If you have a lease with no third-party restriction, Toyota, Chase, no third-party restriction, you can sell to the highest bidder, no problem. If you have a lease with a third-party restriction, that doesn't mean you can't sell. It restricts who you can sell to. So you now are going to take those offers from all those bidders, and you're going to call a used car manager of the same brand. The third-party restriction means you must sell to a dealer of the same brand. Now, some of you may have saw people who were doing things, and maybe you did it. I don't recommend it. You buy the car first. This is for you with a third-party restriction, because you saw, oh, Carvana wants to pay. You buy the car and then you resell it. We don't do that, because when you buy the car, you pay taxes, you pay fees. That comes out of your profit. When you sell direct to a used car manager and we get at least 3 to 5 offers, it's always a bid, because some used car managers will pay less. Some people will pay more if they really want the car, and you sell to them, and you're able to avoid the fees. You're able to avoid paying taxes, and you get your equity. That's the equity assessment. Now, not every car has equity. I don't want you thinking, oh, I automatically have equity. But you should never, and I would never, and anyone who listens to me, you will never return your lease without doing an equity assessment. That's why, and for those of you who don't have a lease, when you do your equity assessment, here's what you're eliminating: a word that I never want you to use again, the word trade. We don't trade. We get bids for everything. Because when you trade, you're not getting the maximum value for your car. You're not getting it. You don't get the maximum value when you trade anything. you take a little less because you want whatever they're selling. So hey, I want that bike. Yeah, I give you my lawnmower. You give me the bike. It's because you really want the lawnmower. It's not because you're trying to get the most money for the bike. So we don't trade. That's the equity assessment. Now that's also what you do. Who's in a car right now and you're thinking about you want to get out of it? Who's in a car right now and you're like, Deshone, I think I want to get out of this. I'm thinking about it. Right? All right. I see you, Tommy. All right. Keep the questions coming. We got a lot more questions we're going to answer. I see you. Okay. All of you who are typing me, I see you, Ty. Okay. Blue faces. I see you. So you got to understand the first thing you do once you decide whether you're keeping your car 8 years and you're going to purchase, or less than 8 years you're going to lease, the next step is equity assessment. Because your equity assessment is going to tell you if the car you're in, can you make money on it? Do you have money, which means I could get out, I'm in a good position, or are you in a negative equity position, which means that's going to slow down or that's going to affect the way I could get out of this car. So the equity assessment's always first. All right, let's go. Keep them coming. All right, Ty said, how can a new car allowance help when you have negative equity on a vehicle you want to trade in? When you say a new car allowance, what do you mean by that? I don't understand what you mean by that. How can a new car allowance help? I need to ask you a question offline. I don't do DMs. This is it. We got 2 million followers. God bless you, but I don't do one-on-ones. I don't do DMs. I work with groups. I help massive amounts of people, thank God, get to their goals. Your situation is not unique. It's not unique. I've been doing this since 2006. I've been teaching people and helping hundreds of people buy cars since 2020. You may think your situation is unique. There's probably 100 other people on this broadcast in the exact same situation. So it's no need it's no need. It's no need. One-on-ones are not necessary. If they were, then I would be doing them and I figure out a way to build a team to do them, but they're not necessary at all. Best way to bargain for a low price on a new lease, multiple offers. You missed it. Anyone who wants to see the replay goes up on Facebook. It goes up on YouTube as soon as we end the broadcast. But we did talk about multiple offers. Everything we do is a bid. Oh, y'all killing it. All right. I see the likes flying up on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. Keep tapping the screen. Shout out to the sharers. Everything you do, when you say, Deshone, how do I get a great deal on the price of this car? You get multiple offers. That's always the answer. You're going to save more money getting multiple offers than you'll ever save doing one-on-one with a dealership. Ever. That's how we're able to say it. Like, look at Charles. So Charles just leased a Palisade. Now, one thing about Charles is, I'm showing it on the screen too. So again, if y'all, if you're watching the rebroadcast, you can see it, or depending on what platform you're on, you can see it. He picked up a Palisade. The Hyundai Palisade is probably top 10 most popular SUVs, especially all through the pandemic. People were paying. Some of you might have one. You might be like, Deshone, I could be honest with you. I got that vehicle, and I know those things people were asking $5,000 over sticker for these, $10,000 over sticker for these. He got a $48,000 one, and he's paying $597 a month. $597 a month. He said, I reached out to 35 Hyundai dealers. He did it my way, so he's at home. He's using what's in my book. For those of you who just jumped on, my book is called, it's my new book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps of Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. For the next 30 minutes, you can get your copy at 75% off as part of our launch. Click that picture of me on TikTok. Click that website. Before the timer runs out, you can get it. It's normally $97. You can get it for $24. It'll be in your inbox in literally 2 minutes. Same thing with Instagram. Go to my Instagram bio, get your copy before the timer hits 0, and the price goes back up to $97. So what he did was he used the computer route. He said, I connected with 3,500 Hyundai dealers. I got 10 quotes back. The offers range from 1.23 to 1.6. What I always tell you, if you shop correctly, when you get multiple offers on a new car or a lease, you'll always see a $3,000 to $5,000 difference. And if you're shopping for a luxury car, it's the same way. You'll see a bigger difference. Some of you were on, I showed Kimberly's deal on her Maserati, where she saved 20 grand on her brand new Maserati. So he said, I'm a high mileage driver, so he's very price conscious. Made the decision, and look, 48,000, he's paying $597 a month. Now, what I always say to high mileage drivers is, once you shop your offers, you shop them with 12,000. And then once you identify the winning dealer, you adjust that mileage with that dealer. If you need 18,000 miles a year, if you need 20, you adjust it. Once you identify the winning dealer, you say, hey, please work the deal with me for 20,000, and you just pay for the additional mileage. And he's probably going to leave out of here with his additional high mileage at probably still under 700 a month. When people are driving this same car paying 900 a month, because a $48,000 car, some of you know, every $5,000 is $100 a month. So that's about $1,000 car payment for people who are buying a Hyundai Palisade before they put their money down. $1,000 car payment. He's paying $597. All right. Deshone, thanks for what you do. Appreciate you, Mopar. Thank you. I love this, man. I absolutely love. And you know what? I get excited about people who are excited about their money. That's what I get excited about. People who care about their money, who are going to show up, people who are I connect with people who are into financial literacy, who are about saving money, who are about learning new techniques, new ways to do things. People who are out there shopping like this is 1990. What results do you expect to get? So, all right, let me put the banner back up. For those of you who want the book, you can scan that QR code, and let's keep the questions rolling. Let's go. Let's go. I'm trying to get through. I'm rotating through all the platforms. So when y'all hear me ask a question, as soon as I finish answering it, post your question so it'll pop up so I can see it. Would you purchase a car older than 10 years? Only if I'm paying cash for it. I have something in the book called The Rule of 72 and the 10th Birthday. Some of you may have seen the videos. The video on the Rule of 72 and the 10th Birthday means we never take a loan over 72 months. It's a 6-year loan. You're asking for a lot of risk. You're going, a 7 or 8 year loan, that's like a 40-year mortgage. A 96-month loan, that's like a 50-year mortgage. We won't go more than 72, but we also have to have the car paid off by the 10th birthday. That's why it's called the Rule of 72 and the 10th birthday. So they work together. I'm not going to take a loan over 6 years, because if coincidentally, when I see people who have problems with cars, the car is usually older than 10 years. When I see people who can handle those problems, cars usually paid off. When I see people in danger of losing those cars, car usually has a loan on it. So if you still have a loan on the car and it's older than 10 years, you've asked for trouble. So whenever you're doing your loan, you take the age of the car, and you add it to how many years the loan is, and it shouldn't go past 10. So if you're looking at a 5-year-old car, you could do a 5-year loan. If you're looking at a 4-year-old car, you could do a 6-year loan. If you're looking at a 3-year-old car, you could do a 6-year loan, not a 7, because we don't go past 6. 72 is the longest loan we'll take. Now, if you're looking at a 6-year-old car, 4-year loan. If you're looking at a 7-year-old car, 3-year loan. Now, if those principles don't work for you, it's because you can't afford the car. You might say, Deshone, well, I can't get that car in the payment I want. You're only buying it that old because you're trying to get it in a comfortable payment. But the older you buy it, if you're going to still take a 6-year loan on it, that's a sign of affordability. You're buying too much car you can't afford. So again, you feel free to do what you want, but I've seen enough people get in trouble with no boundaries on how long of a loan they're going to take or how old of a car they're going to finance. And my job is to create boundaries for you. And at least if you break them, you know you're breaking a boundary. God bless you. I hope it works out. But if something happens, you have nobody to blame but yourself. All right, Tiny, thank you. Just bought the book. Appreciate you. All right, this is YouTube. Good afternoon, Deshone. I'm trying to lease the new Santa Fe Calligraphy. I have an 800 plus credit score. What should my payment be? Well, we always estimate when we look at a car, we use the 1.25. That's what we do. We take the MSRP of the car. If you're trying to see, can I afford this car to lease it? The first thing we do, hold on, why does Outlook keep coming up? Let me open my calculator. First thing we do, because for us, what I teach is a 1.25% deal on a lease is the target. If the lease program is not as aggressive, then as long as I can get under 1.5, I'm still getting a really good deal. If it's under 1.25 when I get all my bids, it's because it's a really good lease program. And if it's under 1% when I get my bids, it's a great lease. We call that a steal. That ain't even a good deal. That's a steal, under 1%. The 1% lease rule has been around for decades. So what we do is if we look at the MSRP of the car, we want 48,000. Multiply that by 0.0125. That'll give you 1.5%. That comes out to 600. So if 600 with no money down, this is when we shop our lease offers, we're always shopping them with no money down. That doesn't mean, Deshone, I want a $500 payment. Well, what you would do is when you find all your offers, if the best one is 600, you know it's under 1.5%. It's a good deal. You can put a little more money down to lower the payment. But what we're not going to do is say, I had somebody say to me, Deshone, I shopped a vehicle, and when the salesman gave me the quote back, he was the best offer. He beat all the other quotes. She said, I got 6 quotes or 7. He beat all the other offers, but he gave me the quote. It was a 1.3, but it was with 3,200 down. I said, that's not 1.3. I said, what is it with 0 down? First month's payment total out of pocket. She said, oh, it went up to like 1.6. Then it's 1.6. Then it's not, you can't, 1 point, that's like me saying, yo, I got a lease under 1%, but I put $5,000 down. No, you didn't. Whenever we're judging our leases, everything I'm going to teach y'all to do is to shop with 0 down and then have the option to put money down. Because if you could get a car at the price you want, comfortable budget, below your max, with no money down, that's what you do. But that's how we do. That's how I would start it out. If my goal was to look at a car and I'm like, man, should I be going after that? If 1.25% is not in your budget, then it's the wrong car. But what I would do is, let's say I had 2,000, I might say, all right, if I could get this car to 600, I might put a little down. There's nothing wrong with putting money down after you have a deal. Money down doesn't get you a deal. Money down is payment management. That's the purpose of money down. It's not to try to get a deal. I already have a deal, but I'm gonna put money down so I can lower my monthly payment to a more comfortable range. That's what is it. All this is in my book. My new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. Look, and y'all don't have to worry about me holding back. It's in my videos on social media. Thank God y'all helped us get to over 2 million followers across all these platforms. I don't hold back. But some of you are like, Deshone, I want everything in one spot, step by step. That's the digital book. Go grab your copy. As long as the timer didn't hit 0 yet, you can get it for 75% off the normal $97 price. You can get it in my TikTok bio. Click that website. You can get it in my Instagram bio, click that website, or you can go to deshonsbook.com. I'm going to post it again here for you guys on Facebook and YouTube. All right, let's keep the questions coming. You can click that link there that says deshonsbook.com. Grab your copy before that timer hits 0. You got 30 minutes. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you, man. He says Deshone is the man. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Will you touch on buying with bad credit? You got to find a lender. I recommended LendBuzz in my book. That's who I recommend. I'm not affiliated with them. You got to realize that if you have time, what you should be doing is fixing your credit. It's like a person who, like, there'll be people driving a car, and this is where I want to help you with mindset. A lot of this stuff, some of the stuff I'm talking about with y'all is mindset. You've been taught to think a certain way about cars, and that's because they make money keeping you thinking this way. If you have bad credit and you like, man, I think I want to get a new car soon, you should be working on your credit, because you are paying 20% more than a person with good credit. Like, they're killing people with bad credit because they're limiting your options. Now, what I tell you to do is, if you get approved with somebody like LendBuzz, then you can have a dealer see if they can beat your rate, because everything we do is a bid. I keep saying that. If LendBuzz approves you at a higher interest rate, after you find your best deal on a car, you find your car, we always give the dealer a chance to see if their 10 or 12 banks can beat what you got. That's called the bank bidding war, because interest, there's a lot of money in interest. You don't realize we're trained to look at the price of the car and try to get money off there, but we don't realize in your loan, that's why y'all think banks lend money and don't sell cars. There's money in the money business. So if you're not making banks compete, that's like you're eliminating a huge part of your transaction. If you could save 1 point on an interest rate and you're financing a $40,000 loan, that's probably $1,500. If you save 2 points, you're talking about almost $3,000. That's the money in your loan. So we shop. And if y'all use what I'm telling you, you're going to start making banks and credit unions bid. We do this after we get our car, though. And we don't let anybody access our credit with a hard pull until after we found our car, because that's when we can start the bank bidding war. The credit bureaus allow you to have multiple people run your credit within a short period of time. And when that period closes, it's going to weigh on your credit like one hard inquiry. One hard inquiry. So if one hard inquiry from one bank would have dropped your credit score 9 points, when that rate window closes and you had all these banks bidding, it's the same 9 points, except you had 20 banks and credit unions bidding, and you come away with guaranteeing your best rate. Which, what do we call that? Who was on here yesterday? I don't know, but what do we call when we can guarantee that nobody else could have beat the price? Starts with a P. And it's something that we get with other things when we buy other items. But when y'all do it like this, you're going to be able to get it with a car. Let's see if anybody knows from yesterday. We might have a bunch of new people on here, so I don't want to assume. It's called price assurance. Price assurance. Price assurance means you guarantee, not you hope, not you driving down with your new car and you saying, oh, you think we could have did better? You think I should have asked them? I should have asked them for like another $500. You don't have price assurance. Price assurance means I guarantee nobody could have beat this loan. I got the lowest interest rate. I guarantee nobody could have paid me more for my old car. I got the highest bid. I guarantee I couldn't have found this used car for nowhere else within 100, 200 miles because I saw all the options. Price assurance. When you use this, you're going to have it. When you use the bidding system, stop negotiating and start making people bid. All right, let's go. Jeff said, don't trade. Call the lender to find your payoff, then get offers from the sites that pay cash for cars to see how much negative equity you have. There you go. Way to go. Oh, see, all right, that's Jeff. That's YD. He's talking to Jeff. I guess you asked. See, that's what I like. When we start getting a community of people that know these principles so well that y'all can help other people coming into the community, that's when we really, really starting to penetrate this. So appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, what's the lady's name you recommend on your first live today for? Her name is Shonda Martin. Shonda, she's on every platform, and her company is called Road. Her brand is Road to 750 Plus. That's who you spend your time with. Same way you see people when they're getting ready to buy a house. What do? You work on your credit. I got a goal, and I want to do it the right way. So you work on your credit, and when your credit is right, you say, all right, let me go get my house now. You do that with a car because here's the thing. You're going to buy more cars than houses. And if you can't qualify for a lease right now, but you're like, Deshone, I know I'm not keeping the car 8 years. Then you should be, and you're like, I can't qualify for a lease. Your mission should be to qualify for a lease. That should be the mission. Because once you get your first lease and you do it right and you structure it right and you get multiple offers and you drive off in that brand new car and you see what your monthly payment is, you're going to be like, man, I should have been doing this years ago. Why was I buying those cars? So get there. All right, let's go to Instagram for one. Instagram. I see a lot of people on Instagram sitting, but I don't see too many questions coming in. What about places like Car Gurus and Carvana? They're always on our list when we're shopping for used cars. Always. Always. Like I said, even if 90% of the time or 99% of the time they're overpriced, if you don't look at the inventory, you're missing an opportunity. I'm always going to look. When you shop for a used car, you want to look everywhere used cars are. Every marketplace. In my book, I have 2 strategies I teach of how we get the best deals on the car we buy. One is for new cars and leases. That's called the 25-to-5 strategy. The other is for used cars. That's called the multiple marketplace strategy. All right. Both of them are walking you through getting multiple offers and seeing multiple options. All right, what if the dealership wants to see the quote from the other dealerships? How does that work? I don't usually do that, and the people that I teach don't usually do that. I'm gonna tell you why. The 80% of dealers are going to either try to overcharge you, they're lazy, they're gonna try to make it hard for you, and then they're gonna try to say, okay, the 20%, before you make a deal, show us what they offered you. No, I give you an opportunity because here's what you got to understand about the 80%. It's not just the price, it's the way they're going to treat you. Because of who they are. They don't want to compete. They don't want to compete. So it's like, I'm not interested in someone who doesn't want to compete for my business. What business can we start, y'all, where we don't compete? I know in my business who I'm competing against. I'm willing to compete. I'm willing to say what I have is better than what anyone else has. If you don't want to compete, I'm not interested in working with you. Because you're trained to just have people come in and give you their business over and over again, and we're not doing that anymore. We're really trying to run those people out the business. That's what we're really trying to do. Holy Spirit, help us. We run those people out the business. They shouldn't have jobs. All right. Hold on. You got to ask your question, everybody, in one shot. You can't do like multiple questions or piece it together because I can't see it like that. My daughter needs a new car but don't have credit, so what should she do? My daughter needs a new car but doesn't have credit. What should she do? Scrape together some cash and get her an inexpensive car. I needed a car. I didn't have credit. My first car was a $500 car. Transmission went out. She should be looking on Facebook Marketplace, saving up some money to try to get a car. Walking into a dealership like a lamb, coming in, oh, I have no credit, but I need a car, and you got sharks and wolves looking at you. Yeah, they'll put her in a car. But when you see those numbers, that car is going to follow her for years and years and years. So it's just like, look, y'all, I think, and we can hear this, that car buying has not been taken seriously. And that's what has caused the problems that we are trying to fix at this point. You don't take listen, there's no other transaction that has the magnitude, price wise, of a car that people don't take serious. Only cars. If I told you you could start a business, even if it's a business you wanted to start, but it's going to take you $5,000. How serious? On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being I'm going to do it in a weekend, 10 being I'm going to take it extra serious. How serious are you going to take that? Just $5,000. You can start a business that you want to start. How much research you going to do? How much due diligence you going to do? How prepared are you going to try to be? Scale from 1 to 10. 1 being I'm gonna do it like I do, and 10 being, yo, I'm gonna take this joint serious. That's $5,000. I don't want to lose that. Most of you would say, right, almost 10. Cars, they programmed you. to think, oh no, this is a one. Don't take it serious. You don't need this. All of that extra stuff, having strategy and like understand, you don't need that. That's the problem. But what you got to ask yourself is, why did they teach us? Why did they program me to shop like that? Because it makes them a lot of money. You not taking car buying seriously? You thinking, man, I could come in, I could do this in 2 hours. You at the grocery store in 2 hours. You spent $250. You at the car dealership for 4 hours. You spent $40,000. So all I want you to do is slow down, have a strategy, plan, and make the right move. And if you care about your money, this is gonna make sense to you. If you care about your money and this is making sense to you, type $signs. If what I'm saying to you is making sense, type $signs. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody sending gifts. I appreciate it. You're my favorite low-income streamer. I don't even know what that means, but I'll take it. I appreciate it. All right. Do you accept 1099A for purchase? Now, listen, y'all. Somebody just asked this question. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Appreciate it. I see a lot. All right. A lot of you getting value out of it. Check this out. First of all, before I answer this question, I'm going to put it up on the screen, and then because some things we got to call out. I need y'all to recognize them because they're viral. When we start talking about things that are viral, that have millions and millions and millions of views, we got to put those on the screen so that just the people on here could understand what's happening. Before I answer this question, those of you who just came on, this whole show is sponsored by my new book. It's a digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a 7-step process. It's step by step. And the way I have it, it's a digital book. So you are not reading something that doesn't apply to you. If you're going to buy your car and keep it long term, I'll walk you down a path. You're not reading about leasing. I don't want you having to read over leasing to get to the information about purchasing. So what it is, it's like if you remember Mario in the warp zone, you warp and it'll take you here. You get to a section in the book and I say, if you're keeping your car 8 years, click this link and it warps you to that section. If you're keeping your car less than 8 years, click this link. It warps you to that section. Another reason why I couldn't do a print book. So some of you who've been on here, I've talked about several reasons why I couldn't do print, but I want to update it. We use real-time websites. You use my scripts. If I wanted to change anything and I had 100,000 books out there in y'all hand that y'all were using, yeah, it'll work until something changes. And then I got to rewrite the book. All right, y'all. Then you'll be on a live with me a year from now. And I'm like, all right, so this changed. So now I got volume 2 of the book. Go get that. So with a digital book, we can update it and you can get your copy for the next 30 minutes for 75% off as part of our launch. But once the timer runs out, it goes back up to $97. So go to my TikTok bio, get your copy for 75% off. You'll see a website there in my bio. Click it and then hit that button that says get 75% off. And then the same thing in my Instagram bio. Click that website and then get your copy for 75% off. And if you're on Facebook or Instagram, click scan the QR code on the screen, or you can go to deshonsbook.com. All right, let's talk about this 1099A purchase. So as far as I understand, and I don't claim to understand everything about this, but here's what I think I understand. There's this particular thing that allows you to purchase cars somewhat free. Is that true, Sean Patrick? Is that true? I've heard that with a 1099A or something, you're able to like purchase cars and somewhat free. I've seen this, so I don't know if that's what he's talking about. But I've actually seen people that say you can go on with this 1099A and you can leave with a car. Why don't we see people that are doing this? Why don't we see this as a business strategy? Why don't we see people going in, getting these cars, not paying for them, and then selling them, making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 just as a business? Because if you ever gave me something where I could legally go in and get a product worth tens of thousands of dollars and I can get it for either half off or free, then I would be buying that. I would be doing it as much as I can, and I would just be reselling it, making all the profit on a secondary market. So because you don't see people doing this, I'm led to believe that it was just to go viral. Same thing with the down payments are illegal. Woman didn't know what she was talking about. She just decided to come on TikTok and say, you know, down payments are illegal. Ask about truth in lending. She sent millions of people, or at least hundreds of thousands of people in the dealership saying, hey, you know, down payments are illegal. Do y'all participate in truth in lending? None of them left because of that with a car with no down. Now, like I said earlier, you can do no money down deals. No, that's not the issue. The issue is when you go in there and you're talking something that you don't understand, but a dealership is trained to make you think you want. So if somebody walked in saying, hey, look, you know what, down payments are illegal, before I tell them they're wrong, pay attention. 80% of people will, 80% of dealers are, and I don't think anyone who wants to sell you a product is going to correct you. I'm really going to still try to sell you a product. So you come in, yeah, you know, down payments are illegal. Do y'all participate in truth in lending? Well, listen, look, I don't quite understand truth in lending, but what's your goal? Well, I don't want to put any money down. Okay, well, come on in. Let's talk about that. Because I already know that I can help you get a car with no money down, but not for the reason that you came in talking about. And then those of you with negative equity, as I talked about earlier in the broadcast, you're not leaving with no down payment if you got a bunch of negative equity, because it's too much of the, it's too far above the loan to value ratios. So we just are big on, I'm not just going to give you the right information and the right to-dos. I got to make you aware of these people who are talking, who have never been in the car business and who don't actually understand, and they're chasing clout. They're chasing viral videos because nothing goes viral like a car video. Like there's a couple videos that people are like, you know what? You'll see a person that normally does credit repair or normally does stocks. I remember, all right, and then we'll get to the next question. So keep posting your questions, y'all. Send them in. We got some more time. But I remember I was, oh my God, this dude I was watching, and he's got a big following, right? So this guy teaches people how to flip real estate. And he's a course salesperson. And God bless him, because one thing I can say about him, when it came to the real estate, he had a lot of people that he was teaching. See, I'm big on, if you're a great teacher, your students get the results. You're not a great teacher if your student, when you see a teacher with no students, you ain't a teacher. You just you like hearing yourself talk. If your people who listen to you don't get results, you ain't no teacher. But so I respect you from real estate. Now he said, here's what's coming, y'all. The community is growing, but I got a lot of new things coming because I see it's a lot of new things we need to talk about. He named like 5 things, and he said, car buying course coming soon. I said, my God, and they gonna believe him. He knows that you never been in the business. He might have bought 4 or 5 cars. So we got to be careful here, y'all. We got to be careful because there's a lot of people buying bad information that's going viral. So, all right, let's keep it going. Just got my book. Thank you, Purple Grow. Enjoy it. Use it. Use the book and win. And DM me a success story. Shout out to everybody that reviewed the book on Goodreads.com. We're not on Amazon. But we do have a 4.94 review. I'm putting it on the screen. We got a 4.94. We got 31 ratings, 27 reviews. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed. And if you got value out of the book, if you loved it, when you get your deal, please go to Goodreads, go to Goodreads.com, tell us about it so that we can help more people find it. All right, let's keep it going. I need a Toyota Tacoma. Can you help me? I can teach you to help yourself. I don't fish for people. I teach you to fish. All right, I just got your new book. Now, could you give us info about repairing credit again? Mark, go to Shonda Martin. Type in Shonda Martin. Can somebody type her name? Because I know it's somebody on here that knows Shonda. And you just listen. You see how I am with cars? She's like that with credit. She's like that with credit. She'll do lives. The way you know somebody knows what they're talking about a subject is they could do a live with hundreds and hundreds of people and just take questions, and whatever question comes, it's like not stumping them. That means they've studied. That means they've been in the game. They've done seen too many things. And when I saw her do that, about maybe 3 years ago. And I said, everybody I know, I'm sending to this girl because she deserves it. And she has just hundreds, if not thousands of people that have used her strategies and have, gotten their credit up. All right. Let's see. We'll go for a couple more minutes. Did you already answer the question about finding a lease without money due at signing? D, all you do, this one's from Facebook. All you do, D, is when you shop your lease offer, this is for everybody. When you shop your lease offers, you are cut. Look, who was taught when it comes to leasing, they limit you on the mileage. Type me. If you were taught with a lease, they limit you on the mileage you can drive. If you were taught with a lease, here's another one. You have to put money down. You might have saw these commercials. Now, like I said earlier, and that you'll always hear me saying, you tell everyone you know, those leases are not deals. Those are packaged profit offers where the dealers make a good amount of profit. Those are not deals. Like, for example, any deals you see me show from people, when you get your lease deal using these strategies, you're going to look at your lease deal and you're going to look at the commercial and you're going to be like, dang, this deal I got is like 3,000-4,000 less than that. That's a deal. Deals are not advertised to millions and millions of people. So when you go, so you've heard they limit you in mileage. You've heard you have to have a down payment. None of it is necessary. You choose your mileage on a lease. So if you drive 15,000 miles a year, you can get a 15,000 mile a year lease. Some of you heard about the gentleman I met when I was at Hyundai for 6 weeks. I was a manager, and he was the first one that exposed me to a high mileage lease. Gentleman came in, he was returning his Hyundai with 75,000 miles on it, almost 75,000. I said, you lease this? He said, yeah, I do a high mileage lease. So I used to buy cars, and he explained it to me because he was a salesperson, not a car salesperson. That was his business. And he was like, I used to buy these cars and I would take out loans, and then I always had negative equity. So I'm like, wow. He said, now what I do is I pay like maybe $150 more, $175 more. I get a high mileage lease. I come back with 75,000 miles on the car, almost, and I get a new one every 3 years. I'm not losing all that money because high mileage drivers, y'all are losing a ton of money. Goes back to the depreciation curve. It looks like this for the average driver. This is how your vehicle's depreciating. High mileage drivers, 20,000 miles a year, it's like this. You're destroying your value. So after 3 years, the value of your car is here. You've destroyed it. So what you got to do is learn about leasing. So you got to learn about leasing so you can stop doing this. So you are going to shop your lease offers with only first month's payment total out of pocket. And you're going to now shop it with 12,000 miles a year. That's the average miles. That's how you get all your offers. You tell the dealers how, from now on, you are going to tell the dealers you talk to how to present the lease offer to you. You're not going to let them, you're not going to say, work me up a lease. Show me what a lease looks like on this car. You are going to say, work me. You're going to pick your car. We always build our car before we get our lease quotes. We like to go online, build it so we know what the equipment is that's in it. And when we decide that car is in the running, we're now presenting how we want the offer presented to us. First month's payment total out of pocket, all taxes and fees in the payment. And then we're able to judge and see, is it 1%? Is it 1.25%? Is it over 1.5% when we get all those offers? So don't worry about down payment. What you were taught about down payment, then I have to have a down payment, throw that out the window. Throw that out the window. Can my young adult daughter lease with only 90 days on the job? She has great credit. It's a great question. There's no hard rule. There's no hard yes or no to this, y'all. Even with credit, it's very because it's more about profile. So they're going to look at the profile of they look at your profile, not just your score. Profile has, like she just said, how long I've been on the job, part of the profile. How long we've been at the address, what our bills look like, how what our debt looks like. Or when they pull a credit, oh, she had a lot of revolving debt, a lot of credit card debt, even though she got a high credit score. So these are all profile things. The job 90 days, that's going to be tough because it depends. Because listen, somebody can have a salary job. Somebody can have a letter from their job that says, hey, we've put them on a salary and they're going to make X amount per year. Even the type of job the bank looks at, having a 90-day job at a job that could be lost easily is different than having a 90-day job. Now, did she have a job before, or is this her first job? Because if she had continuous income, she might have a better shot. That's tough though, but I go for it. If my goal was to lease and I had a good credit score and I had income coming in and I could support the lease payment, I go for the lease. and I try not to go out of control. Don't bite off something like a $40,000 car. I'd be shopping for something that was under 30. You know, I go for it. I wouldn't buy. And if she's got to buy, then I would buy something inexpensive just to build some more history, so that anyone who can't qualify for a lease, your goal should be setting yourself up for a lease. That should be the goal. I'm setting myself up for a lease. So that's what I can tell you. This is her first real job. Yeah, she might need a little more time. But again, and look, if she has to have a car today, that's different. Can she wait it out? Can she get 6 months on the job? Can she, before she needs a car? I go as long as possible. And again, if she doesn't need the car already, if she needs the car now, once again, I go for it. I would be shopping lease offers. I would look for something inexpensive where if I get a good deal on it, my lease payment's like three and change. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. All right. Yeah, she said, somebody said the marketing emails I get from Mercedes always say $4,000 down, $4,000 down. That's because don't believe marketing, y'all. Those are not deals. So that's what, never believe this. As long as you live, just remember this. Deals are not advertised. Deals are made in private. Managers don't want to make them. They're like, man, I didn't want to make that deal, but shoot, I mean, listen, at least we sold the car. That's a deal. They're never going to advertise all this stuff that I'm showing y'all. Look, you see when Kimberly saved 20 on a Maserati, Bonita, she leased a Kia Telluride 2022 when every dealer was charging $5-10 grand over sticker. She got hers for $600 a month. So these are deals the managers didn't feel good making. They didn't tell her, bring your friend, tell your friends, come back, I'll give them the same deal. No, they didn't want to. Deals are made out of like, all right, at least we sold the car. So the advertisements you see aren't deals. The advertisement you see, 100 of you could come in and ask for that. If they got enough cars, they'll gladly give you that because it's not a deal. So, all right. Okay, y'all. Listen, we went for about an hour and 20 minutes. Listen, you know what, we'll be back. I'm working on something. First of all, just so y'all know, in case you just jumped on, everything that I'm teaching you, you'll see it in my free videos all over social media. But one thing y'all are going to understand now is I'm talking, there's different strategies for different people. There's no one size fits all car buying anymore. That's costly. So when you actually get custom strategies for your situation, you're going to save money because it's made for you. That's the reason why the social media videos are a little hard to navigate for you, because I'm talking to so many different types of people. Sometimes it's high mileage drivers, sometimes it's people who want to lease, sometimes it's people who are going to be buying a new car, people who are buying a used car, people who are paying cash. So you're trying to navigate all of these. If you want it step by step in one spot, that's what my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, is. It allows you to get all the information in one spot in a step-by-step way. And as part of our launch, we're doing 75% off. It's normally $97, but you can get it for 75% off for 30 minutes, as long as you didn't miss the timer. When you click my website, which is in my TikTok bio, click that picture of me, and then you'll see a website. Same thing on Instagram. Go to my bio, you'll see that website, and then hit the button that says, get my new digital book 75% off. It'll be in your inbox in 2 or 3 minutes. You can start using it. You can start winning with it. If you're on Facebook, I'm going to post this link one more time for you guys on Facebook and YouTube. As long as you haven't missed the countdown, get your 75% off. Okay, let me know if y'all can see that. Oh, that went, okay. Yep, we just posted it to Facebook and YouTube. So we're working on something where by next week, we should have a spot where you can click and you can actually, you can actually see my calendar. So anytime I'm going to be live, because sometimes I'll come live at 7 p.m., sometimes I'll come live at 12, sometimes I'll come live at 3, 5 yesterday, you know. So I want you to be able to see, all right, Deshaun's going to be live 2 days from now at 5. That works for me. I'm going to jump on so I can ask my question. You know, what we try to do is get through as many questions as possible. So we're working on that. Hopefully, we'll be able to launch that next week so we can start to get it done. Javon, it's still saying $97. All right, that means you missed the countdown. Now, here's what I did. Because this was happening, I had my team, we made an emergency link. All right, here's the emergency link, Javon. Let me know if you can see it. If you missed the countdown, because I was feeling, at first I'm like, yo, you missed the countdown. It was 30 minutes. Once it's 30 minutes, it goes back to $97. Now that second one you're going to see is going to be 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's it. So let me know if all of you guys are good. I want to make sure everybody got it. You guys good? Most people are able to catch the countdown, but every now and then somebody will click the website, then come back to the broadcast. That countdown's still running. Then you're like, okay, let me go get my book, and it's at 0 and it's back $97. So Tommy said, can't wait to read it and save money. Thanks. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear your success story. So we will be back with more lives. I appreciate y'all. Continue to tell your friends when you run into somebody and they say, man, I'm gonna be shopping for a car soon. Invite them to our broadcast. Invite them here so that we can make sure that they're armed with the information they need to go out here and win. I want you mastering buying from home, shopping from home. No one can take advantage of you when you are at your house. We don't spend more than 30 minutes in the car dealership. When you read the intro of my book, some of you who got it, you're going to see in that intro, I say, you should not be spending more than 30 minutes in a dealership if you use what you're about to learn here. And I walk you through it step by step. It's not a book you read and then you go get your car. By the time you get to step 7, that's delivery. So you should not even be, you're not going to be reading step 7 where I'm congratulating you, getting ready for delivery, and you haven't gotten your car. So it's a step-by-step book where every single step you take gets you closer to the car. All right. Same name on YouTube. Yes, Deshone the Auto Advisor. Yep. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna jump off. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all in the next live. All right. God bless. Keep unlearning, keep relearning. All right. Take care. Car shopping in the next 12 months, type me in the comments. If you are car shopping now or in the next 12 months, type me in the comments. We're getting ready to talk about money. We're getting ready to talk about some big money you need to know, especially if you're getting a loan. Anybody who's car shopping with a loan, type an L. I want to talk to you about a strategy that you're going to use to put banks, credit unions, and dealers against each other. Okay? We're going to talk about that. Come on in and let me know where you're at. I like to know where my people are at as I'm talking to you. Let's do a quick roll call, and then we'll get ready for some serious Q&A. But I'm going to show y'all how to do this strategy. I call it the bank bidding war, where you're going to put banks, credit unions, and dealers against each other to find out who has the best rate. Okay? It's called the bank bidding war. So come on in. Let me see where we at today. We got Cali in the house. I see Colorado in the house, Pennsylvania, Georgia in the house. I see you. What's going on? I see you, New Jersey. I see you, Chicago. I see you, Jacksonville, Florida. Toronto, Canada is in the house. Good to see you. Come on in. I'm trying to see everybody. Florida, Georgia. I think I see a state, Connecticut, New York City, Boston. Great to see you. Let's go. Come on in. I see you. Let's go. Stay very active in the chat. If you ever been on a live with me, I like the dialogue. You got to stay close to the keyboard. Okay. So I want y'all to get your questions ready. Start typing them. Just start typing them. Start typing your questions. My new book, it's a digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. It is officially out. So thank God we've been able to bring this book to you guys, been able to bring it to the world. It's already rated 4.94 on goodreads.com. We got 31 reviews. So everybody, while you're watching, you can get a copy immediately for 75% off as part of our book launch. So all you do to get yours, you won't leave the broadcast, is go to my TikTok bio or go to my Instagram bio. If you're on Instagram, click the link and get your copy. You'll see a button there when you click the link that says 75% off. And if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, scan the QR code or go to deshonsbook.com. Get your book 75% off as part of our book launch. All right. And make sure you review it. I love the reviews. Thank you to everybody who's reviewed it. All right. Do they all have to run your credit or is it a separate hit? Nope. When you do this right, we're talking about what I call the bank bidding war. Who's ever wondered if they really got the best rate? Be honest. Who's ever wondered if you've ever got the best rate? Can y'all shoot the likes up on TikTok? Just keep tapping the screen. We already running the likes up. What I'm about to tell y'all is how you never wonder, okay? Bids. We got to go from dealing with one person to getting bids. And here's how it works. There's something called the rate window. The rate window is a particular period of time where the credit bureaus allow me, to have multiple banks and lenders access our credit to give us a loan. Within a certain period of time, it's only going to weigh on our score like one hard inquiry. So if you have successfully shopped your rate, you've gotten 10, 15, 5, 20 banks to run your credit so that they can give you their best loan offer, but you're doing it within that window. So here's how you do it. You don't go into dealerships and just let them run your credit. What you do is you're going to go find your car. And once you find your car, you are going to lock up your car and you are going to then allow banks and credit unions to access your credit. See, there's banks and credit unions are playing a game right now. They're playing a game with us. But we got to know what this game is. They want to throw around these pre-approvals, but most of them are restricted pre-approvals. Restricted pre-approvals, which you never want to use, are pre-approvals that tell you who you can shop with, that tell you, go shop here. Give you an example. Capital One Navigator may say, well, you're approved, but you have to deal with our dealer network. We don't want to deal with a dealer network. I see y'all running the likes up on TikTok. Could everybody hit the share button and share this with one person? I guarantee they will thank you. Guarantee they'll thank you. So shout out to the sharers. So when we don't ever want to, the whole purpose of getting a pre-approval or even really getting your best deal on a car comes from when you can shop wherever you want to shop. It's like ShopRite. You walk into ShopRite and they say, oh, you can only shop here. You can't check Stop and Shop, can't check Publix, can't check anywhere else. You only can shop here. Well, what if y'all overcharging? Then that's the same thing when we deal with some of these restricted pre-approvals. Carvana, they'll pre-approve you and say you're pre-approved to shop with Carvana. So our competition, oh no, we ain't gonna let you shop with them. We don't pre-approve you for that. Same thing with CarMax. Same thing with all of these websites that tie you to a particular place for you to shop. We don't want that. Okay. And so you can't depend on any of those things. Here's what you do. You can Google, because the only purpose of getting a pre-approval is for budgeting. And for those of y'all who are connected to me, I actually am going to release a calculator I created. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. It's an online like software, and I'm actually going to release that to y'all in a couple days. So if you are not subscribed, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, if you're not on my email list, if you're not connected to this community, you are going to miss it when I release this in a couple days. It's going to be absolutely free. It's something that our members use inside Cars from Home University. It's something that you'll see inside my book if you have it. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. So the reason why you get pre-approved is so you can budget. Just like with a house. You go get pre-approved and then you go find your house. You don't know how much you can spend until you get pre-approved. But the games that these banks and credit unions are playing, y'all, is they're trying not to give us a pre-approval. They're really trying to get a hard pull and get us locked into a loan with them. That's really what they're trying to do. Some of you, have any of you ever tried to get a pre-approval and they told you we need the car first? Right? Has anybody ever tried to get a pre-approval and the bank or credit union said, we need to know the specific car to pre-approve you? Right? Orlando said, yep. Tracy said, yep. So think about how backwards that is. That's like if any of you own a home, you know, when you go to get pre-approved for your mortgage, that'd be like them telling you, go find a house and then come back and get pre-approved. Well, that doesn't make sense. But with cars, that's what they're trying to pull. So we don't ever want, remember this, y'all. Remember this as long as you remember anything. Never let someone access our credit until we've already found our car. See, if you stick to that rule, then you're never going to open up the rate window, because the minute you find your car, that's when we go into the shopping part. That's when you find your car, you lock up your best deal, you are bringing that paperwork home. That's called a buyer's order. You're going to bring that thing home and you're going to call your bank, call your credit union. You're going to go online, type in auto loans online. Lightstream is a company called Lightstream. It's Community Credit Union. Any of these people you can find online, it's game time. It is time for them to bid, and you'll already have your car, so there won't be anything stopping you. So you're going to let all the banks, credit unions that you know run your credit when you get home with your buyer's order, which means your car is already sitting there waiting at the dealership. This is very important, y'all. This is like baking a cake, but you don't put the frosting into the mix. You don't put the frosting in the cake mix. It comes at a certain state, at a certain step. The frosting is this step. If you do something in the wrong order, you mess it up. You must wait until after you get your deal. No one has touched your credit. I got my car. I'm going to take it home. I'll call y'all tomorrow, dealership, because I'm going to call my bank, my credit union, and I'm going to let some online, and I'm going to shop for my financing. And then I'll let you know, this is the part two, that a lot of you will sometimes skip. But don't skip this, because this is your money. After you get the deal, after you get your bank, your credit union, the online credit union's rate, now we are calling the dealership and we are saying to the finance manager, hey, Mr. Finance Manager, Mrs. Finance Manager, good news. So I got 6.29 from my bank, my credit union, from whoever gave it to you. But if you guys can beat it, I'll give you the business. This is how you win. Some of you may have heard dealers are not giving y'all the best prices because you don't want to give them your financing. Who's heard that? Now, some of them are scum. Some of them are scams. That's why we always have multiple options. But sometimes if you say to them, I will give you the opportunity to see if you could beat my bank. That is what you want. Dealerships got 10 banks, y'all, 7 banks, 15 banks. It's a whole different conversation when they're calling their banks to try to beat what you got versus how you may have dealt with them in the past. You probably went to them in the past and said, all right, just let me know what rate you could get. Now, when they talk to their banks, here's the question. What's the highest rate we could give them? That's what the question is for most people car shopping. The question that it's going to be now when you do this is, can we find a bank that can beat what they got? It's different when they're trying to beat what you have versus you just telling them, all right, let me know the best you could do. And what you'll find most times is these dealers have leverage. They can call a bank and say, look, I need you to give me 5.9. They already got 6.2 from their bank. I need 5.49. They can call and they give these banks millions of dollars in business. But when you do this, now you're going to leave with what I call price assurance. This is what you want. Who wants to guarantee that I paid less than everyone else? Don't you want to guarantee that when I make a car deal, I paid the lowest price for everything that I could have paid. Isn't that what we want? We want to guarantee I paid the lowest price for everything. That's what you do. You now get your own financing, get those offers. You give the dealer a chance to beat it. So you might think the dealer that the bank that wins your offer wins, but the dealer might call you and say, "Good news, I even beat that. I got you a half a point less." That'll save you money, depending on how much your loan is. That could be thousands. This is how you shop, and this is how you come home with your car and know, "Dag, I got the best price for the car. I got the best interest rate on the market, and it's no questions in my mind." That's how you do the bank bidding war. Okay, must be done correctly. And at the end of that period, when that rate window closes, the effect on our credit score is the same as one hard inquiry. That is when you know you've done it correctly, but no one can access your credit before that. If you let them access your credit before that, you're lost because you've already started the clock ticking. All right. Jason said, "I got the program and going through it now. It makes car shopping easier, and you don't have to sit at the dealership." So Jason's in my program, Cars from Home University, where I have all videos and everything. Thank you, Jason. The same information that's in Cars from Home University is in my book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. So you can download your copy now, 75% off while we're on here. Anybody who wants their copy, use it. If you are in the market, use it. Get it at 75%. $97 is still a great value for the book because of how much money it's going to save you. But 75% off that is even better. So go there, grab your copy. It's in my TikTok bio and my Instagram bio. You can go to deshonsbook.com or you can scan the QR code. Okay, can you talk about leasing and getting the best deal? I keep missing that part. Whenever it comes to leasing and getting the best deal on a lease, it comes through multiple offers. You have to show yourself how much the dealers are trying to make on you. The only way for you to see that is for you to look at multiple offers. You're going to see, here's when you know you've done it right. You pick out a car. If you get a price offer for that car, always get it with first month's payment only, out of pocket, no down payment. First month's payment out of pocket, 12,000 miles per year. You can switch this later. Once you find the best offer, you can adjust your mileage. But when we're shopping, we want to shop with average miles so we can judge the deal. So you're going to do first month's payment. You're going to do, and then you're going to divide, once you get the quote, you're going to divide the MSRP. You're going to divide the payment rather into the MSRP. And that's going to give you a number. So if you divide, for instance, 500 is the payment, the MSRP, let's say, is $40,000. 500 divided by $40,000 is 0.0125. Excuse me. The lower that number, the better. If it's 1%, it's a steal. If it's between 1 and 1.5%, that's a deal. But you don't know what your deal is going to be. If it's over 1.5%, then it's just we don't lease those cars. We don't lease cars with bad lease programs. We don't pay over 1.5% because percentage-wise, we're paying too much for a car that we're giving back. So we don't want to pay. We have to be, it has to be a threshold. And I created the 1.5% rule for everyone to know. Once I pay above 1.5%, I'm paying too much for a car that I'm going to be giving back in 3 years. It's no value in that lease anymore. So when you do that, you're going to call, if you do it manually, which means you're not working with me, I can't really tell you exact, because when you use my way, you're using my scripts. Everyone who shops my way, if it's in my book, it has my scripts. And what I'm saying in those scripts is we're telling them what we want. Our first contact, everything is done on a computer. If you're going to do it manually, then you would just call a sales manager and you would get quotes. If I didn't know how to do it, I would just call sales managers and say, "Hey, I just came from this dealership. I'm looking at this car. Can you give me an offer? I'll give you all the details. And because you have to get at least 5 offers for you to see how much people are trying to overcharge you. Because if you've done it right, y'all, there's going to be a $3,000 to $5,000 swing between the best offer and the worst offer. At minimum, which means you're going to see some people that want $500 a month for the vehicle, and some people that's quoting you $650 a month for the same vehicle. They're going to be like, that's my best deal, $650, and you're going to be like, wow, there's another deal that's at $500. So all that thinking people was the same price, absolutely, no, they're not. No way. No way. Every dealer has a different price. Almost every dealer, unless they're owned by the same people and they're like price fixing, they almost all of them have a different price that they're going to offer you. So the key is sorting for the best offer. I like to do it all online without speaking to anybody. If you want to do it manually, online requires you know what to say. Your dealerships are trained for people who are trying to get deals and trying to save money online. Online has been around since 2005, 6, 7. This isn't new. They've had chances to train people to make sure that they're not letting people just save thousands and thousands of dollars online. So they're going to make it hard, which is why we have to know what to say. If they say, "Hey, can we get you on the phone?" You know, who's heard that? Who's heard that before? When you try to shop online, "Hey, can we just get your phone number? We can talk. It's a lot easier." Hit the like button if you've heard that. Or what about as soon as you get on the phone with a dealership, y'all, what's the first question that they ask when they find out you're interested in a car? What's the first thing that they're going to ask you? Let's see. We got hundreds of people on here from every platform. What is the first question? Let me see how common and predictable this is. What does the dealership, from the moment you get on the phone with them, what are they asking you? Okay, I see. What's your credit score? Yep, they're gonna, yep. But I'm looking for come in. Exactly. Exactly. When can you come in? When can you come in? So we got to know what to say. We got to know. I have a response for all of that. Your response for that would be, "Hey, I'm actually doing all my shopping from home. I'm talking to a couple of local dealers to make sure I get the best offer." And then you always end with a question. Do you have what I'm looking for? Do you have the car that I'm looking for? We need to let them know what car we're looking for, and then we get the offer for it. But you have to be able to, every time somebody tries to get you to go back to shopping the old way, which is coming in, which is going back and forth with them, you have to continually stay on the game of, this is what I'm doing. I'm shopping from home. It's 2024. I can do that. Plenty of dealers are going to make it easy for me to do that. And that's what I'm doing. And and then you'll reveal. You'll see things about most dealers that are going to be like, wow, they're out of control. But you're also going to see the 20% of dealers who are the people you want to do business with. Honest people. They win. They don't mind competing. They don't mind beating their competition with a better price. This is who we deal with. Let's see. I'm not a car person. I like buying I like buying cars that'll last 10 years. Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. I told y'all on the earlier hour when we talked, if you're buying a car, it should be long term. Nobody should be buying a car for a short term. You just shouldn't be doing it. You're losing too much money in depreciation, and you're not getting that value back. You pay 15, 20 grand for a car, you're trying to get out of it in 3 years, 4 years. God forbid you pay more, 30 grand, 40 grand. You're not getting that. All that money you're paying, you're losing. You notice how you're never happy when they tell you what your car is worth? You're never happy when the dealer says, "Look, yeah, well, your car's worth about 19. That's it? That's all." Man, are you kidding me? Why? Because you put all this money into the car and you're trying to get some back now. You know that car was 40 grand. You know you've been paying on it for years. You know all of this. So the reason why this is happening is because you don't understand leasing in the short term. But anytime you're purchasing, it should be long term, 8, 10 years. It's the only way you're going to make the money back. It's the only way somebody who's leasing is not killing you. Because people who are leasing, getting great lease deals, they're paying pennies for the cars that we drive. We're paying hundreds of dollars less than somebody who's buying every month. What's a good affordable car to buy less than 20 grand? This really depends. It depends on what you're going to need. First thing you got to assess is, what are your needs? Because the biggest thing you pay for is size. You pay for size. So the bigger the car you need, here's what y'all remember if money starts to get tight. If y'all are ever looking at a car and money's tight, I remember when I was at Mercedes, somebody would walk into the dealership, they're looking at an SUV, 3 rows, and they're like, oh, I got a big family. I got all these kids, I need the room, right? So then we start looking at the price and we see that the vehicle is out of their price range. And, even the best deal is still out of their price range. Now they go to make a decision and they're like, well, what about the smaller Mercedes truck? And they want to look at the one with 2 rows now. Now, the reason I stop them is because they're about to get a car that takes care of their wants, but not their needs. Didn't you tell me you had 3 kids, you need 3 rows? Yeah, I really do, man. So 2 rows wouldn't work for you. So don't look at 2 rows. See, when we are getting cars, we can't take out stuff that is a need. And the biggest need is size. So you got to make sure. So I always tell you, get the smallest car you can buy. Because when you don't need a big car, you can save money by getting a small car. A Hyundai Elantra is less expensive than a Hyundai Sonata. Why? Because it's smaller. So the big SUVs, you could get a big, huge SUV, no leather, no nothing, no features, base engine. It's still going to be more than a maybe decked out version of a car. Why? Because it's bigger. So if you're building, don't go crazy with size. If you're rebuilding credit, don't go crazy with size. If budget is tight, get the smallest you can. Then you go to amenities. Go to amenities next. Leather. Do I need leather? Do I need all of these features? Do I need it to have all of this technology in it? You're paying for that. So so Alicia, you're asking what's the best way to get the best car under 20 grand? It depends on what car you need. If you tell me, Deshone, I need point A to point B transportation, well, there's a lot of cars you could get under 20 grand. If you tell me, Deshone, I need point A to point B transportation, but I need a 3-row SUV, well, now there's a few cars under 20 grand. If you tell me, Deshone, I need a big car with a big SUV and it has to have leather and it has to be all of this under 20 grand, then that's fewer cars. And then the other categories are, besides size and amenities, we pay for power, we pay for class, and we pay for exclusivity. So if you say, Deshone, I need a big SUV and I want all the leather and all the features and I want the big engine in it, the 400, 500 horsepower engine, and I want to fund it. Well, there's even fewer options because you're not able to. You're building up everything that you pay for in a car. You checking everything. I want everything. So you got to know where to sacrifice. Some people, class is going to be your sacrifice. Watch this, Deshone. I could do a big SUV, but I want a Mercedes, or hey, I want a Lexus. That's different than Chevy. You could get a big SUV with leather, Chevrolet. That same SUV, same size with Mercedes is more money. Class. So you got to know what to take out. Last thing is exclusivity. I want a car nobody else has. You get taxed for that. You're going to pay a lot of money for that. I want the Hellcat, the Demon, whatever it is, whatever that, I'm getting this vehicle, nobody has it, you pay for that. So when it's time, when you're searching, Alicia, you got to say to yourself, what are my needs? And then what are my wants? If my wants might be leather and all that. My needs is I need an SUV. My needs are I need something with a hatchback because I use the back of the truck. I need whatever. Because you don't want to go and get a vehicle that has a bunch of wants that you didn't need, and now you had to get an older one. $20,000 is a decent budget. But if you go trying to get every single thing that you could get in a car, in a big car, and leather and fancy, and look, you're gonna end up getting one with 80, 90,000 miles, and it's just gonna be a bad. It's just I don't want you to do that. I would prefer you not to do that. Not a good way. So assess your needs, get the smallest car you can, get what covers your needs. And if you need help purchasing it, you can use my videos. You can get my book. It's 75% off. Go to DeshonesBook.com, download your copy right now, start using it. I'll teach you how to get the most for your money. That is what I do. Let's see. Shout out to everybody on it. We tied in. I love this. This is we just now getting into streaming on multiple platforms. So we on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at once. I love it. I'm looking for a used Toyota. Could everybody share the broadcast? If you are not following me, if this is, your first time seeing me, I would invite you to follow if this is the type of stuff you're into. If you're into really, financial literacy, not everyone is, but if you are into, watching your money, protecting your money, making sure that all the money that's supposed to stay in your household stays in it, then definitely I welcome you to subscribe to us on YouTube, hit the sub button, and follow us on whatever social media platform you're on. Okay, I'm looking for a 7-seater, but want to pay less than $600 a month. So you start with now 7-seater. Now look at those other things that I mentioned. Do we need all those things? Because you could go 7-seater. You would say, what's the least expensive 7-seater out there? You would look at 7-seaters, in the 30. You look at them brand new, and you say, okay, can I afford a brand new one? If you're not keeping 8 years, you stretch your budget a lot more by learning how to get great lease deals. If you're not keeping 8 years and you're like, Deshone, I'm not leasing, you're losing money. It might take you a while to accept that, but I'm never going to stop saying it. So I'll be saying that until you get it or don't get it. And hopefully at some point you get it. Your children will get it, because most people are, children now in this generation are a little bit more open to questioning bad advice, and not leasing ever is some of the worst car advice that people have gotten. And if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you must learn how to get great lease deals, because you're going to save thousands of dollars. Like, so much more money is going to stay in your household. So what you would do is you need to decide whether you're going to lease or buy. That's always the first. My book is called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Car shopping, for people that hate car shopping, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. What's step 1, y'all? Step 1 is lease or buy. Because lease or buy is the foundation of our car deal. If you see this young lady here on that I'm showing on you can't see her on TikTok, but all other platforms you can see her. You can see she got a 54,000. Her name is Taupe. She's in our Cars from Home University group. We share all our car deals all around the country. She got a BMW i4 eDrive. It's a $54,000 vehicle, $54,750. Her best lease price on it was $690 a month. So y'all are aware, that same vehicle, if she purchased it with no money down, just like she did this, no money down, we're not talking about putting money down. That's a whole different. When you don't put money down, it's easy for you to judge your deals. Stop putting money. When you learn from me, you're going to stop judging your deals with money down, because the money down doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the deal. So to purchase this same exact vehicle that Taupe got, $54,000, that's an $1,100 a month car payment. Every $5,000, if y'all remember, is $100 a month. Every $5,000 you borrow. So if you're looking at a car that's $5,000, figure that's $100 a month for 5 years. If you're looking at a car that's $10,000, $200 a month for 5 years. $20,000, $400 a month for 5 years. Remember that rule. Every $5,000 is $100 a month. So for a $54,000 vehicle, her payment would be $1,100 a month. Yet she's leaving with a $690 payment. You see how hard it is for her to get in trouble? So this is why If she had chose to purchase, let's just say she's working with me, she's reading my stuff, she's learning from me, and she said, Deshone, I'm not keeping my car, but I'm going to purchase. I know I'm not keeping the 8-year rule, but I'm not going to keep, but I'm going to purchase. Even if I helped her and showed her how to save thousands of dollars off this car, thank you, Evan, that is still going to be $1,000 a month, $1,100 a month with no money down. It doesn't matter. Like she can go from 1,000 to, oh, we saved $5,000 off the price of the car. Now you can go from 1,100 to 1,000. Doesn't matter. Now, if I was purchasing this car and I saved $5,000, okay, that's my best offer. That's good. But the reason why leasing versus buying must be the first step is because it's the foundation of affordability. $690 is the best lease price she got. The best purchase price will be nowhere near that. So if your deal is not on the right foundation, if you're not leasing when you should be leasing and purchasing when you should be purchasing, then there's no deal. There's no deal. You're overpaying. So that's the first step. All right, that's always the first step. Before you think about what you want to spend, you must decide, am I going to lease or purchase? And how you decide that is just ask yourself, am I going to keep the car 8 years or not? That's it. Okay, all in my book, by the way. Everybody who doesn't want to remember, Deshone, I don't want to have to worry about remembering this. Okay, then get your book, go to deshonesbook.com, get your 75% off. Let me know, make sure the price is showing 75% off, not the normal $97 price. You can scan the QR code. You could go to my Instagram bio, click that website. You can go to my TikTok bio, click that website, and you can download your copy if you want all the information in one spot. Soder said, can you do a simulation of how you would lease a Mazda CX-90? Well, I would figure out what I want. I'm going to check the car first. I'm going to check the car, go to Google. I'm assuming you're talking about, well, if he's leasing, he is talking about a new one because you could only lease a new car. Okay. The link, Evan, is in my TikTok bio. It's in my TikTok bio. So I'm going to, hold on one second. Hold on. Let me get back on TikTok. Okay. So when we're leasing, if we don't have any other cars to sell, we don't have a lease that's coming due. If you have a lease that's coming due, we got to check our equity. But let's say we don't. Let's just say we want to lease a fresh car. We're going to check the car, check the initial quality, make sure it's not a bad car. There are some new cars out here that are horrible cars. So we're going to go to Google. And when we go to Google, we're going to type in the name of the car, and we're going to type in initial quality. As y'all come on to TikTok, could y'all just light up the lights, keep tapping the screen? I appreciate y'all running the lights up. Because y'all, again, we don't want to do little stuff that ruins our deal. Like I said earlier, if you save a lot of money on a purchase, but you didn't lease, had you leased, you would have saved $300 more a month. Then that wasn't a good deal. You messed up. Same thing if I get a great deal on a lease, but my car is always in the shop. Every 90 days, it's a problem with this car. What's up with it? That we don't want that. And these things can be avoided if you just go to Google and make sure you're not looking at a bad car. Okay. Now, once you do that, now you move on to the step of, all right, it's a good car. It checks out. We got to build it. We go and we build it out because we need to know all the features that come in the car. Sometimes some of y'all actually want a feature that you don't know is available in the car because you didn't go build it. But you got to go build it so that you can decide what you want in it, what you need. Wants versus needs are very important. Needs might be, I need the navigation. Wants might be, I want the big sunroof. I'm good with a regular sunroof too, but I want the big one. I could take the big one. Here's why this is important. When we reach out to dealers, now we're talking to them and we're letting them know what we can. We want dealers looking and saying, do I have any vehicles that match this? Okay, he's looking at a 2024 Mazda CX-5. He said, always give him all your color choices. He said he's open to black, white, or gray. Perfect. He said he wants this trim level, sport. And he said, okay, I must have the navigation. I'm good with a sunroof or I'm good with panorama sunroof. It doesn't matter. This is why this is important. When they hang up, when they look at that on the computer, they go and they look in their inventory and they see what they have and they're looking for a match. If you only gave them 2 limited options, if you only didn't pick out, now they like, hey, well, do you want the sunroof? Do you need the sunroof? So we got to give them everything we want. That's why we build that car out. And once we give them everything we want, we do this online. We literally, in my book, it's $24 at 75% off. You go download your copy, you'll see this is how I do it. I like to send you to the website because you don't have to talk to anybody. Who wants to save money without talking to anybody? Type a $ in the comment box. If you want to save money without talking to anybody, if you want to be able to say, man, I'm saving thousands of dollars, and who's a bad negotiator? Type bad in the comments. Be honest. If you consider yourself, if you be honest and say, I'm a bad negotiator, type me or type bad. This will work for you because you don't have to talk to anybody. Even if you're going to do what I said earlier, if y'all not going to use the book, if you're not going to get the book and use it, then you can call sales managers. That's going to take a little bit more time, and you got to remember what you want, and then you got to be telling them all the information they're going to need. They're going to need to know where you work at because they can't give you the rebates. They don't know if you qualify for any rebates until after they know where you work. They don't know whether you qualify for any rebate until until they know what cars we have in our household. Like I got an Infinity truck. Sometimes they'll give a rebate because you have a competitor brand. You get $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is. So everything, I have this template where you just fill this in. So when you're shopping for a lease or a new car, it has everything that you need there. This is what a dealer must know in order to give us an offer. Okay, could y'all keep lighting up the likes on TikTok, tapping the screen? I appreciate it. I see the likes going up, and I appreciate it. We letting them know, letting TikTok know we changing lives here. We want to set people free financially, but that's what's necessary. Like I'm letting them know what I want, and then I'm doing it with multiple dealers. In the book, I teach you something called the 25-to-5 strategy. That's something y'all going to hear me talk about a lot. That's where we connect with 25 dealers to get 5 offers. 25 dealers to get 5 offers. And what you'll love about doing it this way is you don't really hear, oh, we don't have that color, or we don't have that. See, when you're talking to 1 dealer or 2 dealers, you're going to hear that. You're visiting 1 dealer or 2 dealers, oh, we don't really have that color. No, we don't have the car exactly like you want it, right? Who's heard that? And then they'll tell you, oh, well, the supply is limited. And they'll tell you, hold on one second, y'all. So they'll tell you that inventory is limited. Yeah, they'll tell you that inventory is limited, but that's just the places you're shopping at is limited. The places you're shopping at is limited. When we shop out of 25 dealers, we're shopping out of 25 dealers' inventory. So yeah, I'm talking to 2 of y'all. Maybe neither one of y'all have what I want. But when I'm talking to 25 of you, maybe 10 of you have what I want. That's why it's called the 25-to-5 strategy. You're going to connect with 25 dealers online, right at your computer, and that's going to lead to 5 offers. And when you see how different those offers are, you'll see why it's important to shop multiple offers. Those offers are going to be about $3,000 to $5,000 different from each other. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Look at there was a young lady who just got a Maserati and she saved $20,000 off the Maserati. She said her best offer was $20,000 off. Matter of fact, if y'all need to see that, just type Maserati. If y'all don't believe me, if you believe me, then we ain't got to do it. But if y'all want to see that, then I'll show y'all. She just got a Maserati 2 weeks ago. So imagine if she didn't shop multiple offers, she might have had one dealer taking off $3,000, thinking, oh, that seems like a good deal. Another dealer taking off $5,000. Oh, that seems like a good deal. You shop multiple offers and then you see where the bottom is. Oh, wait, hold on. They said they can't hear me on TikTok. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me? How are we on TikTok now? Let me know if y'all can hear me on TikTok before we keep it going. Thank you so much for the strategies and tactics. Absolutely. Look, one thing we're gonna do here is strategies. One thing we're gonna do here is strategy. I'm just trying to see if we're back on TikTok because my headphone had went off. The salesman I've been dealing with for the last few years, for the last few leases, just became a sales manager. Will he still work with me or will he push me off to a new salesperson? I would only get a quote from him. Hold on. Let me take this off. All right, how about now? Can y'all hear me now? Let me turn this Bluetooth off. Can y'all hear me now? Oh, it connected to my wife's headphones. All right, thank you. All right, good. Yeah, so if you've been dealing with a salesman, somebody said the salesman that they used to work with is now a sales manager. Will they still deal with you, or will they push you off to a salesperson? The only role of a salesperson is to help you pick a car, and then you go home and you get a quote from home. You get a quote from home. See, what's losing, if I could reduce it to a few activities that maybe you have been trained to do that lose you a lot of money, it's getting numbers in the dealership. It's getting numbers while you're at the dealership. If you're shopping for a new car, or if you're shopping for a new car or a lease, you should not be getting numbers at the dealership. If you're shopping for a used car, you should not be getting numbers at the dealership. All of this should be done at home where you're in control, where you can get multiple offers. So if you go and you test drive that car, go test drive it. You could test drive it where you could call him if he used to be a salesperson, but you're only there for a test drive. You're only there to decide what you want. You're not there to buy what you want. I think you got to get that. When you are shopping for a new car, type the gems, type the diamonds, type the light emoji, because this is a gem that you can't forget. When you are there shopping for a lease or a new car, you are in the dealership to decide what you want. You are not in the dealership to buy what you want. Y'all get that? So once you've decided that you like something, now you're coming home and you're getting offers. That's how you stay in control. That's how you save money. That's the new way to car shop. Purchasing from home, getting offers from home where you're in control, not sitting at a salesman's desk where they can give you a price and then you don't know where they're starting at. You don't know where the first price they gave you, you don't know if it was a good price. So, the salesman can say, all right, it's $700 a month. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. Or, and then next thing you know, they get you down to 600 and you think that was a deal. Well, maybe they should have started at 600 and they were supposed to come down to 5, but they started at 7 and they came down to 6. There's no way for you to know this, especially with leases, but with any car, you should be y'all are going to save more money than you've ever saved, easier shopping from home. I'm looking to lease, but I put 15,000 miles a year. That's nothing. 15,000 miles a year is slightly above average. Perfect. 25,000 miles a year wouldn't matter because leasing isn't based on how much you're driving. I spoke about that on an earlier hour we did where I was talking about how cars depreciate whether you buy them or lease them. You park a car outside, if it's worth $20,000 today, you go back a year later. You don't have to drive it 1 mile. Just go back a year later. Is that car worth $20,000 still? No, it's not. That's depreciation. That means you lost money. That means you lost value. That's real money. If you had a car that was worth 20 and then next year it's worth 17, you lost $3,000. That's facts. Doesn't matter whether you lease it or buy it. You pay for the usage of a car. Now, here's another kick. Let's say that same car that you got outside, you go and you drive it around this country. You put 10,000 miles on it a month, and you come back, and in a year, you got 120,000 miles on the car. It's worth even less now, right? Car is probably, if it was worth 20,000, maybe it's worth 8,000 now, right? But you own it. See, these are the people who say, "Oh, I like to drive as much as I want to drive. I don't want to pay for the mileage, so that's why I buy my cars." Never a reason to buy, because you lease. You're literally paying for the car. You're paying for the usage, whether you lease or buy. Here's the key: depreciation. What you're trying to avoid when you lease is taking all the depreciation hits that the owner takes when they buy a car. You lose 20% the first year, 15% the second year, 12%, 10%. You're losing value every year. Now, there comes a point in time, if those of you who keep cars a long time, where you go from losing 10%, you go from losing these high percentages every year to the point where if you keep your car long enough, you might only lose 5% a year. You might literally, the longer you keep a car, the less it depreciates later. But you have to get to the later. If you trade out of that car before you get to the later, you've lost. Because all that depreciation you just took, now you just replace the car and you go start over again. Don't do that. Trust me when I tell y'all. The more you understand leasing, and my entire step 1 is about leasing versus buying. In the book, everything I teach, get your book for 75% off. Make sure you get your 75% off, but you'll see step 1 is all about leasing versus buying, because that's the most important part of going into a car transaction. Oh man, good to see you, Texas. How many years is later? How many years is later? Remind me what we were talking about. I know I was talking about doing something later, or a long time ownership later. I don't know. Remind me what I was talking about. If you owe on the car what the car is worth, should you trade it in and lease? So that's a great question. If you could get out and break even and you're not keeping that car 8 years, then I would get out of it immediately, because there's no benefit to me staying in it. The money that I'm going to pay for a great lease, as long as you know how to get a great lease deal, don't go from a daggone finance to either a regular lease deal or a bad lease deal. You don't want to do that. But once, there's no benefit to me staying in a car that I'm not keeping. I could drive a lot better vehicle transitioning to a lease now, because the vehicle is going to be brand new, and I'm going to have a better vehicle for my money. The money's going to be better. Whatever I'm paying for this used car or this car that I'm driving, it's going to be better when I lease. It's just going to be better. Again, the only people who should own are people who are planning to pay off their cars, or people who are planning to keep their cars for a very long time, 10 years. That's who should be owning. And the people who are owning, who are thinking about keeping cars for a long time, you ain't thinking about replacing that car. You ain't thinking about when to replace it. You ain't thinking about, should I replace it? You thinking about, okay, I'm gonna pay this thing off, and then this is my car. So if you are thinking about, should I trade this car in and lease now, it's probably because you're a lease person. You're not keeping your cars 8 years, and you should be leasing anyway. So in that case, there's no benefit to you waiting. There's just no benefit to you waiting unless you have negative equity. In the book, I talk about negative equity. Some of you, you're going to have too much negative equity. You're not going to be able to transition to a lease yet. You're going to have to pay down some of the negative equity. I've had me a car 14 years now. I'm looking for a new one. There you go. Listen, definitely, that's how you get your money out of a car. 14 years, great money out of a car. You know, I don't know if you're going to do that again. If that's your goal again, if it is, then you purchase. Then you purchase. Oh, somebody gonna comment Maserati. Want to see that Maserati deal? Hold on. Let me get it. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, she said 20. Listen, the money I be talking about, I don't talk about small money. I don't talk about small money, y'all. We are not only the only small money that we've talked about so far is the price of my book at 75% off. Like that's small money. It was actually inexpensive to begin with. I wasn't gonna make the book super expensive to begin with, but at 75% off, to download your copy now of my new book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, get it for 75% off now. Go to my TikTok bio. You're not gonna leave the broadcast, so you won't get kicked out. Go to my TikTok bio or go to my Instagram bio, click the picture of me, and you'll see a website there. When you click that website, you'll be able to get yours for 75% off. And you'll have everything that I teach in one spot so that you can use this stuff. Thank you, Paul. And so that you can see how much money you're going to save when you just start shopping different and when you know where the hidden money is in your car deals. All right, so this was March 3rd. Hold on, I had to download Kimberly's picture. So check this out. Yeah. You guys can't see it on TikTok, but I'm showing a picture on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. This is Kimberly. Kimberly on March 3rd, not even 2 weeks ago. She picked up her Maserati. She's in our Cars from Home University. We have a video library. So we have everything I teach is available in two forms. One is the book. It's a book. It's a digital book. And then we have a video library. Now, inside the book, I link you to some of the videos in the video library. So there's probably 5 times throughout the book where I say, here, click here to watch this video where I explain it. So these are, 3-minute, 5-minute videos. So this is what she posted. She got her Maserati. Her MSRP was $91,700. She payments $944 a month, which is crazy. That's an $1,800 car payment. $91,000, an $1,800 car payment on a 5-year loan, maybe 16 on a 6-year loan. Oh, it's crazy. She's paying $944. And where is let me see, where is she said, I got offers. Look, 7 competitive offers. This is why it's important. This is what I was telling y'all about these multiple offers. Why does it always kick me out of Instagram? That's so weird. I always get kicked out of Instagram. I don't know if Instagram has a time limit or something. I got to see why that always happens. All right, so you can see that her offers were from 1% to 1.8%. And oh no, I know what it is. Hold on, I got to go to her other post. It was her other post where she posted the actual deal sheet. Hold on, watch this. There we go. No, it wasn't her post when she picked up the car. Here it is. So she has this great offer and she comes in our Facebook group. She's like, okay, how do I lock this thing up? Check this out. All right. And these are the same deals you will make. Like you don't have to, no matter what your car you're shopping, what car you're shopping for, You'll get to the bottom. You'll know what the bottom is for it. Check this out. So here it is. 91,000. This was a competing offer. This was her best offer before her true best offer. Because the dealer that ended up making her this offer didn't win the business. The dealer that was closer to her said, well, I'll beat that offer. And that's the one she ended up going with. But this one right here had an $86,961 MSRP. And look, the selling price that she got, $66,261. She's sitting at home comfortable, y'all. Talking to multiple dealers, sitting at home comfortable while dealers are bidding for her business. She's sitting up here. She said there are people that were the same time Kimberly was out here shopping for that Maserati. There's other people all around the country who are shopping for that same Maserati, and they're literally in the dealership trying to, hey, come on, man. Can you take off a couple more dollars? Come on, man. Yo, I'm already taking off 5,000 for you. Come on, man. Can you do, come on. So what if you do 7? Can we do 7? Can we do 10? Meanwhile, Kimberly's saving 20 grand while she's at home. Why? Because you have leverage. She's in control. When you use what's in my book, when you use what you're going to learn from watching my videos, you will see I want you shopping with leverage and control where you can see all these offers while you sit at home and they're bidding for your business. It's hard to make a mistake when you're sitting at home in your living room. It's hard to make a bad choice. It's hard to say the wrong thing when you're not talking to anybody. So the key is learning how to shop online properly. That's what I'm here to make sure you do. I know some of you have tried to shop online, but there's a right way and there's a wrong way. The right way gets you those kind of results. I like this, man. Thank you so much, Good Time. Yeah, IG is weird and you get kicked out if they don't know who you are. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I got to look into that. So I'm trying to pay $287 a month. You just got to see, what does $287 a month get me? $287 a month is probably about a $13,000 loan for 5 years. Maybe about a $14,000, $15,000 loan for 6 years. Maybe about a $15,000 depending on interest rate. So the question always, it's not just what we want to pay. What can we get for what we want to pay? We got to explore it. And you need to know whether you're leasing or purchasing. That continues to be skipped. That's step 1. And this answer is, are you keeping the next car 8 years or not? If you call me and said, Deshone, I'm car shopping, man. I would love your help. I want to do things the way you say do it. What's my first step? How long you keeping the car? How many years? I'm gonna keep it for about 5. All right, we leasing. Okay, perfect. What's our next step? And so on and so forth. You must have the first step handled. Leasing versus buying is step 1. It's not step 3. It's not step 2. It's step 1. If you go off the purchase and you should be leasing, you're done. You lose. Don't matter how much money you save, you lose. Because you're losing, you lose. So you must know that. It's the car I want. I'm willing to keep it. Great. So then we go and we get do you have a car to sell? Step 2, in the book, equity assessment. This is where we have to take, who's traded a car in before? Type T if you've traded a car in before. If you've traded a car in before, type T. Trade it. All right. A lot of you have. I'm going to tell you something that may be shocking, right? But it's absolutely a fact. You learning from me, if you use what I'm telling you, you'll probably never trade a car in again. Deshone, what do you mean? We never trade cars in? I'm going to tell you why. We use a bidding system. We don't trade our cars, we sell them. We sell them to cash buyers who can look at the car and write a check immediately. These are our Carvanas of the world. These are our Driveways. These are our CarMaxes. These are our Auto Nations. These are Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. This is the equity assessment. A lot of times we're losing money in so many places. It's like money leaking out of our car deals in so many places. This is another one of them. We are not trading our car in because, let me ask you a question. When have you ever got the most something was worth trading it? When have you ever, we've never traded anything and gotten the most it was worth, right? We literally, if I sit here and I say, hey, I'll trade you this phone for your bike, one of us is taking a loss. I'm either not getting the max that I could get for this phone, or you not getting the max you could get for the bike. See, so trading in our system, which is a bidding system, we get bids from buyers. When we're ready to buy our new car, we get bids from dealerships. The chances of a dealership winning the bid because they're going to sell us the car we want lower than every other dealership, and winning the bid to buy our old car is almost impossible. It's almost impossible. So you're going to not just beat every dealership that's selling the same product as you, but you're also going to beat all the online buyers that are trying to buy cars, the Carvanas, the people I just mentioned. You're beating them too? Oh, you're going to be out of business soon. They can't burn the candle from both ends. So what we do, this is called timing our transaction. We're going to sell to the highest bidder. We're going to buy from the lowest bidder. So what we've had many times is we've had people who go pick up their brand new car from the dealer who won the bid. And then after that, they go drop off their old car at CarMax and get their check. Or they do the old car first and then go pick up the new car. Because they're giving me $2,000 or $3,000 more than a dealer would have given me on trade. I'm going to go get my $3,000 more here, and then I'll come and I'll buy the car from you. This is how we maximize the transactions, y'all. This is how we make sure at the end of the transaction, we haven't left any money out of it. We have to get bids for every part of it. We talked earlier in the broadcast about getting bids from banks. If you just missed it, if you just hopped on, you missed me talking about the bank bidding war, the process that the credit bureaus allow us to shop our rates within a 45-day period, an unlimited amount of times. And at the end of that period, it only weighs on our score like one hard inquiry. This is, y'all got to use this. Until you use this, you ain't seeing the real money. Until you actually use what I'm telling y'all, you haven't seen the real money yet. You haven't seen the real money in the car deal. You haven't seen how overpriced some dealers are. So you have to use this in order to see how much money is in these processes. But that's how much you're giving to banks by not shopping them, by just saying, oh, that's my bank. I'm going to go with my credit union. And then not shopping them, not giving them an offer, not letting someone else get a chance to bid against them. That's a mistake. You're not my friend. Listen, ladies, gentlemen, these banks aren't our friends. These banks wouldn't do business with us if they didn't make money on us. They're not our friend. Oh, I've been banking there for years. They love me. They don't love you. They love the money they make on us. So we have to be as diligent as they are. I'm gonna see if you're giving me you're giving me 6.29. Let me see who can beat it. All right, I'm glad. Yeah, I've been doing business with y'all. I love y'all. But if somebody else could give me a rate that's half a point less than you, or a point less than you, or 2 points, then I will be giving them that business. Why would I pay you an extra $1,000 in interest? No. So we get bids for everything. And that's how we guarantee that we save the money we're saving. That's how we're able to do this. Can't lose when you're getting bids. We commit to them, but they don't commit to us. Absolutely. Well said. Absolutely. They don't commit to us. They are committed to, they don't even want us shopping their competition. No, none of these banks, dealerships, they don't want us shopping their competition, because that's when we save money. We save money when we shop competition. and we save it easier. Shopping competition is the easiest way to save when you're doing it right, like I'm telling you to do it. It's the easiest way to save. You forget negotiating, forget, oh, take off another 1,000, take off no. Listen, I'll call you back. I'm going to get a couple more offers if you're talking to them. If you're using what's in my book, you ain't talking to nobody because my scripts is in there. I cannot tell you everything to say and you remember it here on a broadcast. But inside my book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, Avoiding Dealerships, you have all my scripts, you have all my templates, all the websites I use, because I want you to go direct to the dealer's websites. I don't want you going to a third-party website that's going to sell your information. We also always get a Google Voice. That's in there too. You want to get a Google Voice number, and you want to get another Gmail. This is going to be your shopping email. Deshaun, we're going to have a shopping email. You're going to get a shopping email because when you see how we contact dealers and how we look at our deals, you're going to see we can't have all of these dealers in our personal inbox. Now we looking through our daggone work emails and then our personal emails, and now we got some car emails in here, and no, it's a mess. We can't win like that. So we always set up a personal shopping email, a Google Voice number, so we can screen calls so that dealers aren't, who's been at work or somewhere, and they pick up their phone and, hey, this is Alan from over at ABC Jeep Dodge. You were here the other day. I'm just calling to check in. Nah, I can't really talk right now. You know, we don't get those calls. When you set up a Google Voice, I don't want no secret calls, no pop-up calls from car salesmen. We are here to shop online, and we are here to shop online by not saying anything. The more we say, the less we save. Remember that. We're gonna brand that one. Okay? The more we say, the less we save. Doesn't matter what time of the month you shop. No, I talked earlier about the 2 dates. Inside the book and you know, on my videos, you'll hear me talk about the 2 dates. 2 most important dates you must know when you're shopping for a car is what's my as soon as date. That's the date I can make a deal. You're not in the market. Don't even look at cars. Don't get offers. Don't look at deals. Don't have somebody work you up a deal until you can accept it. Now, you might say, Deshaun, well, that's tomorrow. Like, I could accept a deal today. Perfect. That's your no later. That's your as soon as date. Now, your next date is your no later than date. That's the deadline. That's like, Deshaun, I go back to work on, June 1st. I got to have a car by May 31st. Perfect. That's your no later than date. Now, in between those 2 dates is your shopping timeline. That could be a month, that could be a year, could be a week, but that's the timeline we have to watch offers and say no. And say no. You want to be able to watch offers because offers change. You know, when I was shopping for my Infiniti truck, pre-owned one, I saw the price trends. One of the things that I'm going to show you when you learn to shop used cars the way I want you to shop, you're going to see the price trends. You're going to see the low side of the market and the high side. I noticed the low side of that market is 22,000 and the high side is 31,000. So now I'm looking because our goal is to buy, remember this, y'all, below market value. Forget market value. These words that people use are expensive words. I'm never interested in market value. The only time I'm interested in market value is knowing it so I can make sure I'm buying below it. You see what I'm saying? You don't want market value. You want below market value. And so that's when we're shopping for a used car, we're looking at those things. I'm showing you first when we open up the marketplaces, how to see the low side of the market and the high side so we can identify the low and we can make sure that everything we're targeting is the low. Didn't realize I was in a live stream. Not looking to purchase a car right now. Awesome. Well, we'll be here. Listen, this is a mission we are on, and we've been on this mission heavy since 2021. And thank God we've built up 2 million followers over all these platforms. You guys continue to follow. You guys continue to subscribe. You continue to engage. And you continue to get value out of the information. What I hold myself accountable to is the results you get. I don't care. Everyone knows I could get car deals. I'm not sitting here on no live to convince y'all I could get car deals. Everybody's probably like, man, this guy looks like he knows how to get car deals. I'm concerned with you. I'm concerned with people like who use what I teach. And once I saw that people who use what I teach can get the same results, look, this is Vincent. Vincent got a 3-year-old Lincoln Corsair. He got it back in January. Less than 45,000 miles, clean Carfax. We'll talk in future broadcasts about how we get free Carfaxes, what's on the Carfax. You'll see that many times the Carfax has the window sticker. Carfax has the original window sticker for certain brands. And we use that original window sticker to see all the equipment that's in the car and to see what the real price is. We need to know, one of the most important things on a used car, y'all, we got to know what was the original price. I bought that pre-owned Infiniti truck. They were asking 31 for it, but it was another one that was asking about the same price, and they looked the same. When I pulled the original window sticker, I saw that this one I ended up getting was 54. Originally, 54,000 and change. It's like an edition 30. It has all the special trims on it. It has special rims, everything. And then the other one was a standard one. It was like $48,000 one. So once I saw all of them and I saw, wait, this one's 48 brand new. This one was 46 brand new, but this one's 54 and change. Y'all see how that helped me identify that was the best deal? See, and many times, I'm just being honest with you, if this car was 32 and the other similar car was 31, many of you would have picked the 31 because you'd have said, oh, it's 1,000 less. But you don't realize it's 1,000 less, but that one that's 1,000 more gets me $6,000 more of equipment. That's why knowing the original price of the car is critical. You can't choose the right car without seeing that. So this is what we do. And you see what he said. Look, he said, going back to Vincent's post here of his Lincoln he got, he said, my goal, I was targeting a 30 to 35% off discount of MSRP. You see how he talks different? See how he sound like me? Shopping for a pre-owned car, but what is he looking at? I'm targeting this much discount off original MSRP. See, this is not how we've been taught to shop. Pre-owned cars, we must know what it costs originally. I don't care what you're asking for it. I don't care what the market value is for it. What was it originally? And that's going to tell me how much discount I'm getting. 2020, 2022, 2020, all through the pandemic, unfortunately, people were buying used cars paying the same price as the car when it was new. People were buying Toyota Camrys for $29,000 that was $20,000 brand new. Had they known this, hey, I need to know, what was this car originally priced at? Well, it was 29. Wait a minute, and you're asking 29? See, we call this true value. In the book, I call this the true value percentage. You must know it. He ended up getting a 43% discount. So that's how you want to shop. For you, these, of course I could get great car deals. But y'all, this ain't rocket science. When you learn to shop from home, when you learn to look at multiple options, when you learn to put dealers against each other, when you learn to put banks against each other, you're going to sit at home and you're going to save thousands of dollars. You know what? That's how you buy everything else. We could sit here online and we could buy TVs on Walmart.com, on Amazon.com. We know we're going to pay the best? We're going to get the best deal because we know. I'm going to look at all these options and I'm going to pick the best one. But only with a car do we go into one place and go back and forth with one guy. You get what I'm saying? If you think about it, it doesn't even make sense, right? It doesn't even make sense the way we car shop, because the way you car shop is not like the way you shop for anything else in this world. And all I want you to do is stop shopping like that. That's all I want y'all to do. Stop shopping like that. And here's the next thing. Start shopping for cars the way you shop for everything else in this world. And you're going to be, oh, man, you know what? When I shop for cars this way, Deshone, it feels like when I shop for groceries. It feels like when I shop for other things. I'm comparing correct. And you're going to love it. I promise you. We got enough people that have started using what we teach. We've been doing this for 2.5 years now to see the transformation is incredible. People just like, man, I can't believe I never knew that this existed. So I compare oatmeal. Exactly, Dave. Listen, everything. You get what I'm saying? We literally have price confidence by comparison. You know what? And look, y'all will see these Carvana commercials, right? Y'all ever see the Carvana commercials that says we have 50,000 cars for you to choose from? Y'all ever see those commercials? You could choose from 50,000 cars, right? I'm gonna tell you what that is and why you never fall for that. They're trying to win your business based on variety. But variety does not drive down prices. Competition drives down prices. So whenever you hear, we have 50,000 cars for you to choose from, here's what I want you to think of. If you walked into the Dorito factory and you were able to see every single flavor of Dorito they make, we have 200 flavors. I didn't even know y'all had 200 flavors. Yeah, like we don't have them all in store, but in the factory, we have 200 different flavors of Doritos. Really, that's amazing. They're all $7.99 a bag. Wait, how do you mean? Wait, if I go to the store, the Doritos are $3.99. They're $2.99. Yeah, but not here. Because there's no competition. There is no Lay's. There is no, Hers. It's only Doritos here. So whenever you're looking at variety from one company, there's no competition. They're not competing with themselves. So every way they price their car, they don't mind you looking around. Take a look. We got so many cars to choose from. You'll find something. But everything that you find is not competitively priced. The only way we're competing is when we know we're shopping, when you're about to go visit someone else. You're about to go see someone else. That same blue Camry that you want here, you're about to go look at another blue Camry somewhere else. You should be doing all of this online, never in person. So this is what drives down prices, y'all. Never variety. Forget these dealers that say, "Oh, I got 10,000 cars." Does not matter. In order for me to make sure that I'm paying thousands less, I must shop your competition. I don't care about your variety. When I shop your competition, I'll find the best offer. And it's going to get easy. It's going to get very easy for y'all. So, all right. So let's do a couple more questions and we'll get ready to wrap. DeshonesBook.com for everybody. It's just somebody confirm that we are showing the 75% off price. Sometimes I get a message that is showing the full price. Make sure you could get your 75% off. Scan the QR code. Everything that I teach is in my book. We just put it out. 75% off is the book launch special. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. It's a digital book. You could download it and use it right now. And if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you could just go to my Instagram bio or my TikTok bio. Okay, thank you, Camry. Show 75% off. All right, perfect. Went to 7 dealerships before I found the price in the car for my daughter. Wonderful. My wife was mad at me. Now, that's because that sucks. And the time that you put into that, I get it. But to save money, I don't blame you. If you got to what you needed, it was worth it. But I want you to get to the point where you could do this from home. You could have did it with phone calls. If you use my way in the book, we do everything online through computers. But I rather you not drive to place. It's just you don't have to do it. If you had to do it to get multiple offers, then I would tell you, man, you got to drive to multiple places. But you don't have to. You can do this by phone, ask for a sales manager, or if you don't want to talk to anybody at all, you can use my way in my book where we do it all by computers. I'll tell you exactly what to say, what to type, what they're going to say. You got all the responses. Everything is scripted out for you. DMV good, and they treat you like gold when car goes in for service. Oh, I didn't see. Okay, I missed that. How much does credit really matter? Credit profile matters. If you're looking for a car loan, it's not always score though. It's more profile. So I always say if you have a car payment that you're paying, sometimes the world could be crashing down around you. You got late credit cards, but if the bank sees you've been paying your car payment on time, they'll sometimes give you the loan. They'll sometimes approve the lease. So, some people might have a lower credit score and low sixes, but they have a solid payment history on their cars, and they get approved. Another thing is, if you have a high score, sometimes you don't need, um, score and payment history are probably the two biggest indicators. Payment history being what I just talked about, and score being score. Um, because those two things weigh heavily on the decision. Now, then you have things under that. You have things like your job. How long have you been on the job? How is it a new job? Is it you self-employed or are you employed, with a company? Have you filed your tax returns so that you can have proof of income? Because all of this comes into account with your profile. So if you have a strong credit score, sometimes you could get away with not having a previous car loan. If you have a strong credit score, but you have a previous car loan, but you don't have proof of income, sometimes that's okay because your credit score is strong. Now, if your credit score is not strong, then you want to have these other things in line, proof of income. So when you look at, how long I've been living here, what I do for a living, credit score, income, the amount of money you make, that's a part of the profile. Somebody that makes $36,000, compared to somebody that makes $300,000, that's a different profile. So those are the three things that matter. But those are the things that matter. But if I was to tell you to work on any one thing, it would be your credit score. It would be get with Shonda Martin. Shonda Martin's on every social media platform that y'all are on right now. Shonda Martin. Her page is called Road to 750 Plus. And then just follow what she teaches and the stuff that she's taught me, I've used. It's raised my credit score at least 80 points. Just the things she knows about credit that, just go follow her. But yeah, it's about profile more than just score. It's about profile. Should a person get extended warranty on a vehicle if a vehicle has high repairs, high cost of repairs, expensive parts? Then certainly. But you want to make sure you're getting a quality extended warranty. I will get it from the manufacturer. If you're buying from an aftermarket company, I talk about this in my book too. You better be looking at tons of reviews. These companies go out of business a lot. You don't want to have a contract with a company that's going out of business. You got to be careful. And I would try to avoid buying from an aftermarket company unless they have just hundreds and hundreds of reviews, lots of high ratings, and they've been around for a long time. But yeah, if a vehicle doesn't have a lot of high cost of ownership and repairs, then I wouldn't get the warranty. If it's something that is very easy or inexpensive to maintain, I wouldn't get a warranty for it. How to avoid as is lemons. You want to make sure you're checking the history of the car. 4 things we check when we're buying a pre-owned car: title. What's the type of title? Is it a rental? Is it a ex-loaner car? Is it a salvage title? Is it frame damage? Total lost vehicle? That's the first thing. Then we go down to accident history. We go to service records. Service records are a huge indicator. Any used car you get, y'all, I'm never going to recommend you buy a used car without teaching you how to look at service records and make sure that the previous owner or owners took care of the car. Third thing is accident history. And then what we're going to do before we do all of this, we're going to check the car online, and we're going to type in. I do something called a reliability and a longevity check. That takes 3 minutes. We go right to Google. We type in the year, make, model, reliability, the year, make, model, longevity, and that's going to tell us If there's transmission issues at 80,000 miles, we'll see it on there. We'll see it in one of these websites. If there's head gaskets issues, if there's electrical issues, we'll see it. So those 4 things that I just told you to do, boundaries. See, you protect yourself by having boundaries. I want you to use those boundaries, and you're going to find it. Does it prevent the possibility of you ever having a limit or getting a limit? No, it doesn't. Does it dramatically reduce it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that's all we can do. There are no guarantees in life. What I want you to do is have a plan that allows you to protect yourself. And then, in the worst case scenario, something bad happens, this was just a bad event. But it wasn't an event because I didn't know what I was doing. It's not something that happened because I bought a bad car, or I bought a car over my budget, or I bought a car that didn't have a quality history. That's why I'm having problems with this thing. So that's what you're saying now. If some of you may be experiencing that now. Dag, if I would have knew all of this about how to make sure I got a good car, how to make sure that I got the right price, I wouldn't be in this issue. That's what you're saying now. But I want you to be on the opposite side of that. And just knowing what to do will put you on that. So just follow those steps. If you follow those steps, you're good. You don't have to worry about getting a limit. What fees not to pay for? Well, on a purchase, we only pay taxes, documentation fee, and taxes, documentation fee, and motor vehicle fees. On a purchase, that's all we're going to pay. Now, there is a destination charge for new cars that comes on the window sticker. That's to get the car from the factory where it's built to the dealership. So that's built into the price of the car. But those are the real fees. When we get into leasing, you got acquisition fee that's built in. We don't pay attention to fees when we lease because we're comparing percentages. What I teach you how to do, this is all in the book, by the way. Everybody who got their book, shout out to you. DeshonesBook.com, get your 75% offer. Download my new book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. It's all in there. When you are hold on. Okay. See, sometimes I read the comments at the same time I'm talking, and I forget what I was saying because we just going from subject to subject. So, it was somebody asking about lease, what fees not to pay. That's what it is. Yeah, when we are shopping for a lease, we are comparing percentages. So, how we compare lease offers, first month's payment divided into the MSRP. So we are shopping and we're looking at quotes just like this: $450 a month, $45,000 MSRP; $490 a month, $40,000 MSRP; $500 a month, $51,000 MSRP. That's how we get our lease quotes. No money down. We're literally just showing. That's literally first month's payment only out of pocket, right? So when we divide those payments into the MSRP, we get a percentage. And that's where the 1% rule came from. The 1% rule has been around for decades. It's if you leased a car for 1% of the MSRP or less, it was a steal. There was no need to question the deal. Like, get out of there before they change their mind. You stole the car. Now, I found that we knew about the 1% rule, but there was no rule for bad lease deals because I watched people as I made videos, and I watched people saying, "Yeah, Deshone, I'm leasing," but I saw people getting leases that were trash, overpaying for leases, which defeats the whole purpose of a lease. If you overpay for it, you might as well should have not have did it. Now I'm like, we got to come up with a barrier. We got to come up with a boundary to where if your lease is above this, you paid too much for it. That is a bad lease program. You should not be leasing a car paying that much over 3 years. And that's where the 1.5% rule came from. When you add up all the payments, you'll see you're paying X percentage of the car. And when you go higher than that, it's too much money for a car we're giving back. Some people are paying more for their lease than they would have paid naturally just buying the car and letting it depreciate, just because they don't understand that. So that's where the 1.5% rule came from. Does the 1% rule apply with these current interest rates? KM, let me show you something. You can't see it because you're not on TikTok, you're not on Instagram. If you were on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, you would see what I'm sharing right now. Somebody just asked, does the 1% rule apply? And they've been asking, y'all been asking me that really since I started talking about it. Y'all been asking me, does the 1.5% rule? We do this. This is Greg. Got his vehicle in February. The vehicle is $56,275. It is a Kia EV6 Wind with the tech package. His payment is $527 a month. So before this and before you saw, here's Kimberly. Kimberly's vehicle is $91,761. Her Maserati. Her lease payment is $944 a month. 1.09%. Now, out of all of my members, we have probably 1,400 members, 1,500 in Cars from Home University. These two have gotten the best leases because the program was there. In order to have a lease be a 1% or in the low 1%, you got to have an incredible lease program. We don't know what it's going to be. She didn't know it was going to be a 1% lease before she shopped it. Greg didn't know it was going to be 1%. We go in saying, if I could get 1.2%, 1.25, that's good value. You're going to see that's what I teach in the book. I go in, if I could get 1.25, that's good value. Up to 1.5 is still good value. But we don't know what it's going to be until we shop. Some people are getting 1.2, some people are getting 1.1. But when you got a dealer that's giving you a huge discount, like Kimberly got, you got a good lease program on the 2023, which she got, and she got, it all things. In order to leave with your best lease deal, you need a huge discount from the dealer. You need them to discount the car the most they can. If they have any rebates, you need them to give them to you, and then you need them to make sure they're not marking up the money factor. And then you that's what comes into a lease. And there's no way for you to get this unless you're shopping competitively. She never saved 20 grand without shopping competitively. So yes, the deals are out here. They've been out here. We've been making deals all through the pandemic, y'all. The deals are out here now. But for those of you who don't want to shop the new way, you want to stay in that old way of shopping, that one-to-one way of shopping. Nah, ain't no deals out here. Ain't no deals out here. It's nothing out here. Everything's overpriced. 1% of MSRP. Yep, you got it. 1% of MSRP. And that's been around for years. The 1% rule has been around for years. All right, so there we have it, y'all. We went over a lot. I'll be back for another hour very soon. If you're on our email list or if you're subscribed to our channels, you will get notifications of when we go live so you can hop on. Everybody who's shopping for a car, I want to make sure that I'm with you to make sure you have the guidance, to make sure you know the strategies, know where the hidden money is, and you save all the money that you're supposed to save, every dime of it. So you can get my book for $24. That's 75% off for our launch. Just came out. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can click on see that picture of me on the top of TikTok. Click that. If you're on Instagram, click that picture of me on the top and click that website at the top of my profile. And you'll see a link there that says 75% off my new book. Get your copy, use it, so that way you don't have to remember or try to remember everything that we just went over. Because I know some of you are like,
Deshone, man, we just went from a lot of subjects. We're answering all types of questions. If you don't want to remember that, you can have it right in your hand at 75% off. Or you can go to deshonesbook.com or just scan the QR code and get your 75% off. So always a pleasure. No, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this. And Rain, let me show you this before you leave, before I jump off. You can't even see it, Rain. If you go to any of these other platforms and you watch the replay, you'll see it. She said, I can't tell if it's a man or, oh, no, it's a guy. He said, I've been trying to get a Telluride for years, but the markups are crazy. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this right now. And this is what I tell y'all when I say that to those who are shopping the old way, to those with old strategy or no strategy, ain't no deals out here. But to those who are like, Deshone, I want to learn, I want to use this way to shop, oh, deals are out there. Deals are out here. I'm just going to snatch a couple people I could find that I know have gotten Tellurides, and I want to see. I want you to see what they're paying. Hold on. So this is a $54,000 MSRP. Hold on. Okay, this is Bonita. So this is Bonita. Now, here's what's crazy about Bonita. She got her Telluride middle of the pandemic. See, we were out here getting these deals when it was blood in the street. Look. Hold on. I had to go to the Facebook group, snatch the screenshot, find it, snatch the screenshot, and then come back here and show y'all. So this is Bonita's. She got this. Look at the date. She posted it when she got it. 2023 Kia Telluride. She got it December 2022. $600 a month. And look, I put down 600, and her payments was 600 a month. At the same time, there were people paying $800, $900, $1,000 a month for a Telluride. She drove off with $600. Same thing with the Palisade. Somebody just got a Palisade. Those are two nice vehicles. They're two popular vehicles, and what that means is there were several people charging crazy money to get for people who wanted to get them. Here's one right here. I'm gonna show y'all this deal on the Palisade. Like, this is why, see, I get to work with hundreds of people in Cars from Home University, my video library. I get to work with them. I get to see the deals. So whenever people tell me there's no deals, they don't know. Y'all, I'm seeing deals. My members, they post their deals 2-3 times a week. Sometimes I'm seeing different deals from every part of the country. So when people say there's no deals, it's just you don't know how to get them. And if you will be humble and say, man, I don't know how to get deals. I don't know how to find deals. I need to learn how to get them, then you'll be fine. But don't say there's no deals out here, because now you're just closing yourself off. Here's another. This is Charles. Look at the date. March 1st. Got a Hyundai Palisade. Look, 35 dealers. I told y'all what I teach y'all. 25 to 5. 25 dealers get you 5 quotes. Charles went a little further. He connected with 35. That must mean the way I teach you to connect with them is easy. If he went from 25 to 35 like that, that must mean the way I teach you to connect with these dealers is easy, when he could just bump it up to another 10. But look, the offers he got ranged from, look, I reached out to 35 Hyundai dealers and got back 10 quotes. The offers range from 1.23 to 1.66%. That's what I'm telling you all about, how different the offers are going to be. I see you. Thank you, AquaWorks. You're going to enjoy that book. Use it. So when you've gotten your offers correctly, you see the spread. You've never gotten your offers correctly if you say, oh, I got 5 offers, they're all the same. Every dealer is different. You know you've shot correctly when you see this spread like Charles is laying out right here. 1.23% to 1.66% of MSRP. I'm a high mileage driver, so he was price conscious. After counter offering, which is what I teach. In fact, I have in the book a calculator that I invented that you put your offers in to it and it spits out the counter offer that you're going to email to the dealer. So you cannot close a deal without a counter. We just do this without talking. See, nobody ever said you had to counter verbally, but we counter by email. Look, I never thought I'd be able to afford a car that's almost $50,000. Look at this, $597 a month. MSRP was $48,595 on his Hyundai Palisade. His quote was $597 a month. Y'all, do y'all realize Hyundai Palisades, people out here buying them right now, $48,000 vehicles. Y'all realize with taxes and fees, that's about a $1,000 a month payment for 5 years, $900 payment a month for 6 years. He's paying $597. All in my book. This is what I want you to learn. I want you to learn how to shop this way. This is what I'm talking about in these live streams. This is what I'm talking about in my book. This is what I'm talking about in all my videos that I post. It's learning to shop this way. Okay? Competitively, putting dealers against each other, making them bid for your business. You're going to save thousands and thousands of dollars way easier. So get your book. I just wanted to show y'all that because he had mentioned the Telluride. So I said, let me pull up a Telluride deal. Let me pull up a Palisade deal to show you whatever car you think, yo, it's no deals out there. They're telling you that. We getting them all. We getting them all. Doesn't matter. Luxury cars. I had Crystal just got her Porsche Macan. She said, Deshone, dealers were charging me the same price that I'm paying now to that I'm leaving with. I forget how she said it. She said, before I came in, they were charging me that to lease. I think they were charging her $1,300 a month on her Porsche. And she ended up coming in and getting it for like 9 something. All stuff you'll see. You know, I just don't want to keep pulling these, but as this is what we do. I would take y'all into for one day when I come on live, I'll take you straight into our Facebook group where we share all of these deals and just show y'all just a bunch of deals. Like they're everywhere. So if you're on TikTok, go to my TikTok bio, get your book while it's 75% off. If you're watching this, then the 75% off should still be active. Just go click my TikTok bio, click that website in my TikTok bio, click the website in my Instagram bio, and get your copy. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, just scan the QR code on the screen. Let me put it back up. Or you could go to deshonsbook.com and get your 75% off. So with that said, I will see y'all in the next hour. Congrats to everybody that got a book. Thank you for being here. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for engaging. We got a lot more coming. We're just getting started. So stay tuned. I will see y'all soon. Somebody just said they're paying $730 for the same car. So that same Hyundai Palisade that this person's paying $597 for, they're paying $730. That sucks.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Car Shopping Secrets. Come on in. We are on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We're going to be taking questions from every platform. So just come on in, and I want you, the goal, just so you know, is to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know me, my name is Deshone. I go by Deshone the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business, and now my mission is to make sure you guys know how to save thousands of dollars when you buy or lease cars, and you know how to shop for cars the new way, where you're in control. So that is the mission. All right, it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be almost stress-free. The more you do it, the more stress-free it will be. But you have to learn how to shop from home the right way. The right way. So come on in. Yep, I see you kindly. Just ask your question and let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. And before the entire broadcast, my new book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, will be available in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio for 75% off. It's normally $97. It's a digital book. It's everything I teach. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. It's rated 5 stars on Goodreads.com, and you can get your copy right now. So let's go. Send in these questions. How do you get a car in your business name and credit? It's simple. If you're going to go, getting cars in your business name is the same as getting cars in your personal name until it's time to sign the paperwork. Whose name is it going in? Now, if you're going to use business financing, then that's its own strategy. So you can learn from somebody who's teaching business financing, lines of credit, things of that nature. But when it comes to buying cars and getting your best price, which I don't see business people doing, I'm gonna be 100%. There's not a lot of people that I see who are teaching you guys how to put cars in your business name, who are even remotely interested in getting the best deal on the car. They're so busy getting the car in their business name that they literally will overpay thousands of dollars just to get the car. Okay. Omar, question. In your book, it says that if you sell your lease to another dealer, you have to buy the car first. That means I have to write my current bank check. Nope. That's actually our plan A. That's not our plan A for selling our lease. If you have what most people do who are trying to get their lease equity, if you don't know you could sell a lease, if you didn't know you could sell a lease type of one, this is going to be relevant to you. We've sold leases for the last couple of years. You've always been able to sell them, but the last couple of years, it's been, there's a lot of money made. And when banks saw people making a lot of money selling their leases, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000, some of them implemented a third-party restriction, and that they limited who you can sell to. So they started so then what you saw was a lot of people started buying their leases and reselling them. I don't like when you buy your lease and resell it because you're going to pay taxes on the purchase and you're going to pay fees on the purchase, and then that's coming out of your profit. So I don't teach that. In the book, Omar, continue reading or just read that section over. It's a lot of money involved in that section. When we have a third-party restriction, we're getting bids from a local dealer. We're talking to used car dealers. I have a script in there of what to say. We're selling our car to a local used car dealer. And if there's more money to be made buying and reselling, then you can do that. But oftentimes, because dealers most times don't need to pay the taxes, the dealer payoff is lower usually than the customer payoff, which means you can sell direct to a dealer and put more money in your pocket, but you must get bids. And that's what I teach. So just read that section carefully, Omar. All right, come on in. Could everybody hit the share button who is into sharing? If you're into sharing, if you share great information, if you're into financial literacy, if you believe that people should be able to, have the information to make the best decisions for themselves, then hit that share button. I appreciate all the sharers. I cannot do this. We can't do this mission without the sharers. Thank y'all. All right, let's go. Let's go. I see Instagram. Let's go. Want to trade my car, which I still owe money on, and I want to lease now. That's going to be very common. Many of you are going to find out as you find out you will, unfortunately, many of you were just programmed never to lease. You were programmed that leasing was bad. And when you find out the math and how much that's cost you, the first thing you're going to want to do is get out of your finance and go into a lease. So you need to call your bank. In my book, I call this the equity assessment. This is step 2. After you decide, now you've already done step 1, which is great. Step 1 is deciding, should I buy or lease? Asking yourself the most important question: how many years am I keeping this car? To decide, are we going to go for a long-term purchase, where we can avoid the depreciation in the long term, or we're going to go for a short-term lease to avoid the depreciation hit. Once you answer that question, that's step one. Now we move on to step two, which is our equity assessment. That's when we have to look at the current car we have, and we have to find out what our position is in it. Are we in a negative position? Are we in a positive equity position? So you're going to call your bank, find out what your payoff is, get your payoff. Don't look at your residual value on your contract. Don't look at, whatever your statement is. If you're going, you can do this with a finance, you can do this with a lease. The equity assessment process starts the same way. You call, you get a payoff, you find out what you owe, and then you're going to go to the online bidding, to the online car buyers, and you're going to get offers so that you can find out relative to what you owe, how much is the market value of your vehicle. And the market value is based on how much someone's willing to pay you for the car. It's not based on what a algorithm site says. It's based on, I got 6, 7, 8 cash offers, which is when you follow this process, that's what you're going to get. And you take the highest one, and then you look at what you owe. And if the highest offer is greater than your payoff, that's called equity. If the highest offer is lower than your payoff, that's negative equity. In which case you have to go with a different plan with negative equity. And some of you are going to have negative equity. You're still going to want to transfer that to a lease. But you need to know how much negative equity you have. So you must complete the equity assessment first, then we move on. Pete, how much normally is a good amount to put down? So when we look at putting money down, it's all payment management. If I'm financing a car and my goal is to pay off the car as quick as possible because I'm keeping it for, 8, 10, 12, 15 years, then I'm going to put as much money as I can down. But it goes back to what we talked about in the last segment. If y'all were here in the last segment, you remember we talked about what you're doing with your money. So let's say a person is using them, you got your money invested, you're getting returns on your money, 8, 10, 12%. Then if you have a low interest rate, you might want to ride that out. So there's 3 ways to go. You're either going to say, all right, I'm not really interested in getting, investing my money. I'm not getting a lot on my money. Most of my money is either in the bank or in savings, and that's what I do. In which case you might say, I want to pay off this car as quick as possible, and then I want to just have no car payment. So I'll put more money down in that scenario. In a second scenario, you're investing your money and you're saying, okay, I'm going to use the bank's money at a very low interest rate if it's available, 2, 3%, 0%, 0.99%. I'm going to use this money, let my money make more money for me, and then I'm going to put as little as possible down. And then the third case is when you say, okay, well, the third case is probably going to cash or a lease scenario, but that's how you would compare it. It depends on your personal choices, what you're doing with your money, and if you're not into investing and making a lot of money on your money, then you probably want to get that car paid off as quick as possible. In which case, put as much as you could afford to put down, so that the loan's out of the way as soon as possible. But it's all personal. All right. I see from IG. Is it a way to get a lease without a down payment? Look, are you kidding me? And that's not an insult to your question. That's just, this is all we do. I know you might have looked at these questions and you said, you might have looked at these lease deals online and you see all of these deals that say, hey, put $3,000 down or the $32.99 do it lease signing. Listen, the lease is custom. You choose the mileage. You choose the structure. So the way we shop, this is all in my book and this is all in my free videos. So as you go through all my free videos, y'all gonna hear all of these things match. Whether you on these lives with me, whether you watching my videos, could we keep hitting the likes on TikTok? Let's shoot the likes up even more. Appreciate y'all. Whether you're looking at the free videos, whether you're on a live or whether you're in the book, you're gonna see they're all the same. So when the way we shop for a lease is we are picking our car and we're going to get our offers with only first month payment out of pocket, 12,000 miles per year. If anyone tells you they can't do that, they're lying to you. Straight up, they are lying to you. And that's why we never put our faith in one dealer. In my book, I have something called the 25-to-5 strategy, where we're connecting with 25 local dealers online in 20 minutes. I know it sounds crazy, but when you got a computer and you know where to go and what to say, and you're using copy and paste messages, you're just letting them know. I'm gonna let 25 dealers know in 20 minutes what I'm looking for, because out of that 25 dealers, maybe 10, 12 are gonna have a car that I'm interested in, depending on the car, maybe 10, 12. And then out of that, I'm looking to get 5 to 7 offers. So it's 25 to 5, 25 connections, 5 offers. And until you start doing this, until you start looking at 5 offers, y'all, you're not going to see how overpriced some dealers are. When you start looking at 5 offers, you're going to see how overpriced some dealers are. And because about 80% from what we see, and I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people around the country, over 1,600 people now in my private group, there is 80% of dealers are going to take a shot at you to the tune of thousands and thousands, but 20% of dealers are going to be the best. They're going to be honest. They're going to make shopping from home easy. They're going to try to beat their competition, and that's the people that we end up purchasing from or leasing from. Is it better to lease or buy when using for a business? It depends on the type of business. The only business that I say it's not better to lease. See, leasing is for people who are not keeping their cars 8 years. Very simple. It's called the 8-year rule. And when you see that what it's about is avoiding the depreciation hit. When you're buying a car, your biggest expense by far is depreciation. If you buy a car today for $30,000, brand new car, what's that car worth in 5 years, y'all? Throw some numbers out there. If you buy a car today, $30,000, brand new car, what's that car going to be worth in 5 years? Throw some numbers out there. Thanks, Ed. I see you, man. Appreciate you. Look, let me see. Let's see what people come in at. Hold on. Hold the question, Dolan. Now I got my man Dolan working in the background so we can see everybody's question. But hold on. Let's go deep on this. It's not going to be worth 17. If you could buy a car for 30,000 and then it's worth 17 in 5 years, that's not going to happen. So let's just and 22. See. All right. This is a deeper problem. Let me hit on this, y'all. Let me hit on this. This is a big problem. All right. Some of you let the last 3 years fool you. And this happened to car dealers too. There are still car dealers out there that think this is pandemic and they're trying their best to hold on to what was. I used to, during the pandemic, some car salesman said, man, somebody will walk in, I tell them they got to pay $8,000 over sticker, and I got it. I could get them to pay that. They're still trying to hold on to that. They don't realize that over a year ago, their competition started adjusting and started really doing, well, their competition was doing deals from the get-go. So that's them. But let me talk to you. If you bought a car in 2018, 17, 16, 19, 20, early 2020, you could have sold that car and actually either made money. In fact, most people made money. That's gone. Don't let that get you thinking that there is that you can buy a car and flip a car or break even on a car. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity based on limited inventory, based on a global pandemic, based on a microchip shortage, based on an industry that usually puts 60 million cars a year through the transaction. They didn't have it. And so everything went up $7,000 to $15,000. Everything. Some of you cashed out. If you cashed out during that time, those last 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022, if you cashed out, you sold something and you made a bunch of money, type a $sign. Just type $sign so we can actually see. Because some of you, I was talking to you back then and you cashed out through my advice. And some of you, you just found out on your own or you found out through somewhere else and you ended up cashing out and making a bunch of money. If that's you, put $signs. But that is over. The times we had people buying cars in 2019, overpaying for them or buying cars and coming back and flipping them and making money on them. You try that now, you're going to lose your shirt. It's over. So I'm here to tell you that the normal depreciation on a car is a 20% loss the first year. 20% loss the first year. So if you pay 30 grand for a car, that car is worth 80% of 30 grand after a year with normal driving. If you're a high mileage driver, it's worth even less than that. If you're a low mileage driver, very low, it's worth a little more than that. But that's standard, 20% going. Second year, you're going to lose probably another 15%. Third year, you're probably going to lose about 12.5%. Probably lose another 12.5% the next year. Then you'll lose 10%. And that's the depreciation curve. That's where we are. So when I asked y'all 3-4 minutes ago, if we bought a $30,000 car, what it would be worth today? The answer is what it would be worth after 5 years. The answer is probably going to be about 12 grand. The answer is probably going to be about 12 grand. And we've gotten so far, I had to go deep on that subject, so I kind of forgot what the original question was and how we got on it. But the name of the game is avoiding depreciation. That was how we got on it. So if you don't know, that's your biggest expense. Your biggest expense is not maintenance. It's depreciation. You're losing thousands and thousands of dollars in depreciation. So when you're deciding, should I lease or purchase? When I tell you the answer is 8 years, if you're not keeping your next car 8 years, you should be leasing it, because if you get a great lease deal, you can't get a regular lease deal. You must get a great lease deal that comes through multiple offers. Then you're going to avoid those big depreciation losses that these owners are taking. Now, at the same time, if you're buying your car to keep 8 years, you should be purchasing it, because once that depreciation levels out, remember what I said, you lose this percent the first year, this percent the second year, but every year later, it starts to get smaller and smaller. Eventually, you're only losing like 5% on the car, and that's the time where you want to keep it. That's when you won. That's the reward. That's where you're like, okay, now I'm winning based on my purchase. Okay. So whenever you're looking at leasing versus purchase, it's a long term. You got to look down the road, and you must ask yourself, how long am I going to keep this car? All right. All right. Let's go. Dolan, next question. Dolan pulling questions in from every platform. Should lease rates increase depending on yearly mileage allotment? So we always shop with 12,000 miles per year. Find your best deal. Shop multiple offers. The way I just laid out in the beginning of the show, I gave you the structure on how we shop offers. If you missed it, watch the replay. Once you get multiple offers, you get 5 to 7 offers. Pick your best one, and then you adjust the mileage, because you want to adjust your mileage once you know you're dealing with an honest dealer. Once you know a dealer has won the bid, they're not going to try to put extra. Like if the mileage to go from 12,000 to 15 is $25 a month more, an honest dealer will mark it up $25. You don't have an honest dealer, they'll mark it up $35. They'll mark it up $32. Everything will have a little cushion in there and you don't want that, because cushion is built-in profit that they're not going to disclose. So once you do that, yeah, you pay for additional mileage, but you don't adjust your mileage until you actually find your deal. And yeah, you pay for mileage because you pay for usage. But then again, when you have a great lease, like I'm gonna show y'all a couple great leases throughout the show, people who are getting, ridiculous deals right now, and y'all see, to add a little more mileage to these leases the payment is still pennies. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, Dolan. But you got to shop first and then you adjust. All right, YouTube, looking to buy 4Runner, but they have a $1,500 BS protection package. Okay, they is one dealer. It's not Toyota. Toyota's 4Runner. This gentleman shopping for a Toyota 4Runner, y'all. The dealer that you went to has a $1,500 BS fee. That's why we don't shop and put our faith in one dealer. You know how many 4Runners there are the way you saw them? I don't care what car you're looking at. You could be looking at the most rare G-Wagon. There's at least a couple more in the country. So when it comes to something like a 4Runner, there's thousands of them. No matter what color, you might say, yeah, but I like this color. There's thousands of them, thousands. That's a mass-produced vehicle. So you have to have that in your mind. If you start looking at it like, oh, it's only one of these, oh, they got you, because they're going to make you think that's the only one, and you're not going to see that there's other ones that not only may they not have the BS fees, they actually may be lower priced. And that's what you need to be seeing. We go about 100 miles out when we start our used car sales. In my book, in day 5, I have something called the multiple marketplace strategy. I laid out the 25-to-5 strategy. That's how you shop for new cars and leases. That's a different strategy. When we're shopping for pre-owned cars, we're using the multiple marketplace strategy. Can y'all keep shooting? Can y'all keep tapping the screen? Everybody on TikTok, we got a couple hundred people. This is crazy. Could y'all just keep tapping the screen, shoot the likes up? Let's keep grabbing attention over here on TikTok. Appreciate all of y'all. But when you're shopping for a pre-owned car, we're using the multiple marketplace strategy, where we're looking at every website that has used cars. Some of you may think Car Gurus is the same as cars.com, the same as Auto Trader. They're not. These companies have different contracts, different dealerships, different places that they advertise inventory for. And not only are you shopping those marketplaces, you're shopping the Carvanas, you're shopping the CarMaxes, because occasionally, sometimes they'll have the best price on a particular vehicle. You never know what they're going to do. So if you're not shopping them and looking at all the used car inventory, you are going to miss the lowest price in the market. But once that happens, you'll find a car, and you always verify fees before you leave your house. You never get to a dealership and have fees pop up on you that you didn't know about. That means you didn't give a call and find out the bogus fees beforehand, in which case you let somebody waste your time. So you can't negotiate. That's why I got a video. Some of you may have seen it. We don't negotiate with fake fees. We don't do it. We don't do it. It's a losing battle. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Let's keep it rolling. I'm trying to get through as many as we can today. I want to go through as many questions as fast as possible. How do I know how much equity I have on my lease? It's a very common question, y'all. I mean, we're kind of getting a similar question asked in a different way. Call your bank, find out what you owe, what your payoff is. Go to the marketplaces that I mentioned earlier to get offers. CarMax, Vroom, Vroom's out of business, sorry. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Auto Nation, and Car Gurus, Sell My Car. That'll get you about 6 offers. Now, whenever you're using those websites, you'll get to a part where it says, is the vehicle owned, leased, or financed? Just put owned, because their websites have something built in where they say they can't buy leases, because they out of all the leasing companies, some have third-party restrictions and some don't. But their websites are not set up to see who has third-party restrictions. They just kind of blocked it, because I'm sure they had thousands and thousands of people, when everybody was making all of this money, calling them saying, "Oh, I want to sell my car to you." And then they looked at the contract and said, "Oh, we can't buy it." So they basically just put a block on their website. But if you don't have a third-party restriction, and there are several leasing companies still that don't have a third-party restriction, meaning you can sell to anyone. But if you do have a third-party restriction, we take those offers that we got from those online car buyers, then we call a local car dealership, we call a local brand, and we speak to the used car manager, and we get a couple offers from used car managers, and we sell direct to them. And we avoid any fees. We don't buy and resell. I can't think of one person. You can leave that up, Dolan. I'll get right to it. You can leave that up. I can't think of one person that has learned from me that actually bought their lease and resold it. It's just you're losing thousands of dollars in taxes and fees. It's just not worth doing when you can sell direct to a dealer. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Let's keep it rolling. I'm loving this. Thank you. Could everybody tag a friend? Everybody's not going to tag a friend, but if you are somebody who tagged, I'm telling you, your friends will be upset if they find out that they went and bought a car a couple months down the road, and they end up overpaying for it, which most people are. And they find me later and you didn't share it. And they like, "Yo, why didn't you share that guy? Yeah, I've been following Deshone for years. You didn't share his stuff with me." So don't be that. You don't want to have that. It's an awkward conversation. You might as well just tag a friend, think about somebody who you love, and share this wisdom with them. Let's get everybody saving money. All right, we can't find a lease for less than $500 a month. Every time we turn a car in, they increase the lease amount. We love Jeep, but we are now trying to, but they're calling us, telling us the interest rate is high. We have 12,000 miles left. So, I mean, if you can't get a Jeep, so this was somebody that got a Jeep in our private group. Let's see. Hold on. Let me go to my, let's see, who got a Jeep? I gotta label these different. No, I gotta label these different. Ooh. Jeeps have incredible deals if you know how to shop. Anybody who's interested in leasing a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which kind of Jeep is it, Liz? If it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee, let me see if I can find this. See if I can find this person, because I know that deal was ridiculous. Hold on. I just want to tell you how the difference in shopping and getting multiple offers, because If you already have them calling you and telling you that every time you see, I know that scenario where she just said every time we release from them, the price goes up. That means she's buying and leasing from the same dealer. So in most cases, when you're leasing from the same dealer, every single time you get a deal from them, they're going to bump the payment up a little bit. Very rarely is it going to go down because they've conditioned you for it to go up a little bit every single time. Now, in the case of the pandemic, they had people jumping up $150 a month. But when it comes to Jeep, hold on. What kind of Jeep? Is it a Grand Cherokee or a Wrangler? I know I have somebody in my group that just got a Jeep for it. They saved like $7,000. And that was on a limited. That was on like a $59,000 Jeep. Oh, that's right. I text my friend the deal because she was shopping for a Jeep and I text her the deal. So let me actually see. Here we go. All right, here we go. That's right. Okay. She got a $45,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. If y'all can't see this, this is Raphael. She got a $45,000. Now, I don't know how you're equipping your Jeep, but hers is $45,925. She's paying $549 a month, and that's all the money she gave them. She put $540, she gave them $549, and she drove off. So if you are somebody who says, all right, that deal is ridiculous, I'm gonna put down $1,500 more, drop my payment to like probably about $1,500 more out of pocket, will drop that payment to probably $498. And or you might say, Deshone, I don't even need the limited. I see she got the blacked out one. I don't need all of that. I'll take one that's a little less than that. But this was last month. So, I mean, you must shop offers on these cars. You must shop multiple offers. You must get at least 5 quotes from 5 unrelated dealers, because one thing that will surprise you is Raphael had offers for 600, 700. I remember I helped the lady Christina. She was in our group a year ago, and her best offer, she got like a $52,000 Jeep, white with the black top, and it was like $606 a month. But her highest offer she got from a dealer was like $1,100. So she had some for $1,100. She had some for like $899 or something, and then her best one was $606. So oftentimes what you think is overpriced is just that one dealer you're dealing with that's trying to take a shot at you. That's why multiple offers from home is the way to go. This is what's in my book. This is what I teach in my videos. If you guys want to have it right in one spot with all my scripts, everything, I don't even want you talking. I really want you typing, because when you talk, you can say something wrong. If you type, you can't mess up. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. If you type, you can't mess up. So 75% off. I just put the book out. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. If you hate car shopping, type hate. Type I hate it. All right. And we're already rated 5 stars on Goodreads. And I want y'all to have everything I teach in one spot. That way you don't have to go through all my videos trying to see which one's for me and which one's for leasing and which one's for selling my lease. And, oh, this one's for a used car. I don't need that. That's you can do that. You can certainly do that. The information's there. But if you want it all in one spot, get your book for 75% off in my TikTok bio, or go to my Instagram bio, click that link, and then click the button that says 75% off. Or go to deshonsbook.com. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Yep, you good, Dolan. I want to buy a certified pre-owned car. I want a safe, reliable car. What do you recommend? I'm thinking Subaru. Okay, so when we're trying to find what car we want, get an idea of it, and then we do a research. We do our check. We check to see reliability. There's 3 terms that you got to be familiar with. 2 are going to apply to you if you're a short-term person, which means you're leasing, you're not keeping your cars 8 years, and 2 are going to be important to you if you're a purchaser, if you're buying a car to keep 8, 9, 10 years. If you're leasing, the 2 important terms are initial quality. Initial quality is, what does the data say about this car its first 90 days? The first 90 days the car was in production. Now, the way we do an initial quality check, this we do right before we go and get offers on a car, because we never get offers on a car until we find out if it's a good car. You don't want to be getting offers and then you get a great deal. Now you decide to check to see if it's a good car and you're like, oh, it has electrical problem. No. So this is one of the last steps we do. We do this in step 4 of my process. It's a 7-step process. Step 4 is shopping, not buying. That's our research. That's our test drives. That's our making sure the car is good. So you type in the name of the car, the year, always put the year, 2024 Subaru Impreza, initial quality. Type that into Google and you look at the first page. If there's any red flags, you'll see it. Skim those first couple articles. It shouldn't take you more than 3 minutes. You'll see, oh, click on this. Reliability score is a 70 out of 100. I might pass on that. Initial quality, rather, is a 7 out of 100. We don't want to see anything that gives us concern. Now, once it passes initial quality, now you type in 2024 Subaru Impreza reliability. So initial quality is your first 3 months of the vehicle's lifespan from the time it's new. Reliability is the first 3 years. So if that car is in the shop every couple months or once a year, or for the same issue, if it's having a misfire in the engine, you'll see it in the reliability ratings. For somebody like you, Tina, you want to look at both the reliability and then you want to type in 2024, whatever year you're buying, 2021 Subaru Impreza longevity. And you want to do the same thing. You'll see if the transmission's known to go, it'll tell you right up top. These cars are known to last 150 to 200,000 miles, 200,000 to 300,000 miles. These cars, many owners report transmission issues around 80,000 miles. That quick 5-minute check will avoid thousands and thousands of dollars in bills and headaches. Thank you, Blood. Said you looking younger. I appreciate it. So that's how you do. But also, don't think you got to buy it. You can keep that up, Dolan. All right, we're pulling questions from everywhere. Instagram, TikTok. So make sure y'all are typing your questions. We're on 4 platforms. And I got my man Dolan pulling the questions in. Don't think that a certified pre-owned car is better than a non-certified car with a good history. A good history, non-certified, could be better than a car that's certified without the history. See, I'd rather a non-certified car with a great title, which means it's not a salvage title, it's not a rental, it's not a, funny title. Great service records, which means I can see that the previous owner or owners regularly took care of the car. That's the biggest indicator that car was taken care of, is service records. And then a good accident report. I take that over a certified car. When I pull the Carfax, I don't see many service records. So don't think because you're getting a certified car, if you don't do your due diligence, you could still lose. You want to look for those 3 things: title, service records, accident history. That's the biggest indicators. It's no guarantees, but those are the indicators. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Can you explain the worksheet on the multiple marketplace strategy? I signed up for the 5 sites, but confused when there are multiple cars on each site. If I pick high and low on each site, the sheet will have like 50 cars. Correct. I'm looking to actually narrow down. First thing we do. So this is somebody who obviously has my book and she's asking about this strategy. So look, when we're looking at used cars, we're on every marketplace. So I want you to think about like Amazon.com, Walmart.com. Let's replace the car with a TV. It's no way if you're looking for a TV and you're trying to get your best deal and pay the lowest price, you're not going to check all the online websites. Now, some people might check only Amazon. Though that's not as good as checking Amazon and checking Walmart.com and checking BestBuy.com. See, I know Best Buy is overpriced most of the time. You get what I'm saying? But that's how I feel about CarMax. But I still got to check them because they're overpriced most of the time, not all the time. And every now and then you see the one that was surprising, they'll have the best offer right there. So that's why I'm always going to check all the marketplaces: CarMax, Driveway. And then we're going to open up your Auto Trader, Cars.com, Car Gurus, at Carfax.com. There's 8 used car marketplaces. So we open them up, and now we put in our criteria. What are we looking for? Now, we don't look to buy. I don't want you buying the first day when you open those marketplaces. Here's the goal when we open the marketplaces. Who remembers what I said about market value? If you were on the last broadcast, or if you heard me talk about it, what are we interested in when it comes to market value? Who remembers? And let me see. We might have a whole fresh crowd on here. We got a couple hundred people. We got like 400 people on here between all the platforms. So I don't want to assume, but let's see if anybody has heard from any of my other broadcasts. When it comes to market value, what are we interested in? All right, we might have a whole fresh crowd. Below market value, y'all. So how do we buy below market value? First thing we need to do is see what is market value. Yep, I see you, Ronald. The first thing we need to do is see what is market value. So your goal when you open up those marketplaces, and this is what I teach you in my book. First things first, we sort all our prices high to low. We create accounts because we want to be alerted of any new inventory. Because once I know what the market value is, I know where the low side of the market is. So you might look and say, we sort all the prices, low to high, low to high, low to high. Now I can see all the low prices are around 22, 23, 20, 22, 23, 24, but then it goes up to 25, 26, 27. That's market value, that middle. And then you got the overmarket, it's always going to be cars that are priced higher, above market value. Now, when we look at the low side, here's what we're able to say. Here's what you have to know. Be prepared for it. The low side of the market is where all the crap is. So you're going to see bad titles. You're going to see accidents. You're going to see frame damage. That's fine, because you're looking through all of that, and then you're going to find that diamond, and you know what the low side of the market is. Here's what's also very important. You might see a car. You might say, I want a black car or a white or silver. You see a car that has all the boxes I talked about, which we checked. Title great, service records great, accidents great. It's the wrong color though. Dang, I don't want blue. That's an indicator. I don't care if it's blue. I'm not going to buy it because it's not my color, but it's showing me where the low side of the market is. That's a deal. If somebody wanted a navy blue car, that's a daggone below market deal. So we have to find out what the market is. Then we find out where the low side of the market is. And then we have on alert so that every car that pops up, it comes to our email immediately. As soon as they list it, boom, we get the email. And we know the low side of the market. So when we look at that car and we're like, oh, wait, this is $22,000 and it's my color. All right, you open it. Ah, shoot, 2 accidents. No problem. Now you get another one a couple days later. Oh, shoot. All right, black. Oh, $22,500. Good price. You open that thing. Wait, service records look great. Oh, accidents look great. Now we go to verify if there are any bogus fees. We do one more step. We pull the window sticker because I want to know what's in that car. I want to know what the original equipment what is the actual original price. Once I find that out, I got to get there and get that car. So that's how you do it. You have to, it's a narrowing down. You're looking at all this inventory. I'm going to narrow it down to the best, and then I'm going to snag my deal. And you're at home. You're not in these dealers where you're at home. Okay? And that's all in the book. All right, let's go. Oh, how do I get your book? It's in my TikTok bio. Welcome to all the new people that jumped on the broadcast. It's in my TikTok bio. It's in my Instagram bio. Click the picture of me, and then you'll see a website there. And then there, click the button. You won't leave the broadcast. So some people are like, Deshone, I don't want to get the book yet. I don't want to miss the broadcast. Well, the book is only on sale, 75% off for 30 minutes. So click the link. You won't leave. You'll still be able to hear everything we're talking about. You can come back and keep asking questions, but don't miss the 75% off. Click that website, or if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can go to deshonesbook.com, or you can scan the QR code if you're watching on TV. Go ahead, Dolan. Oh, matter of fact, let me go to TikTok, because Dolan, you're not on TikTok. Can you come with me to buy a car? Not necessary, Danielle. Thank you. I appreciate it though. Listen, that's the old way. So you think that we're somehow going back and forth with dealers and hey, I kind of need somebody. That's like when I was selling cars and people thought bringing their uncle in was going to help them. No, we don't shop like that. So you don't need any. The reason why, listen, I'm gonna share the reason why you see people like this. Who? Well, I just showed you Raphael. How she get that deal? She's from home. See, you put yourself in a vulnerable position where you go in. Some of you, I mean, be honest. If you ever felt like, you were being taken advantage of, or you were getting talked down to at a dealership, type of, type of one. If you feel like, I'm outmatched, or if you're not a good negotiator, how about that? Who on here is not a good negotiator? Type of one in the chat. All of these things I want you to know. That's why the old way has worked for dealers. I was there for 14 years. It's all about psychology and negotiation and confrontation and being comfortable with confrontation, which most car salespeople are. Most people, unless you're like in that business, you're not. So you want to get it over with as quick as possible. Someone who's fighting for their money doesn't mind being uncomfortable with you for an hour or 2 hours or a couple days or weeks. So you have to now take away that power, put yourself in a different position where you're in control, and that's in your house. That's why you don't need me. You need if you use what I teach. If you do it your old way, then yeah, you need somebody, and you're still not going to get your best offer, because your best offer comes from shopping multiple dealers. But once you start shopping multiple dealers, you'll see they'll be jumping through hoops, and you'll feel like, dang, I got the power now. That's the name of the game. Go ahead. I'm gonna do another one from TikTok, because I know Dolan, you're not pulling. We'll get back to IG. We got all questions coming from everywhere. I just don't want to leave TikTok out. Would you recommend buying a car outright, cash, no note? Yeah, we talked about that in the last hour. If you're not invested, if you're not investing your money, and the bank's money, if the bank, look, it depends on if you're investing your money. If you're and you're making money on your money, those people don't usually put their cash in cars. They want to keep their money making money. But if you're not really investing, then you probably want to just pay cash, get the transaction out the way. And if you're investing your money and you can use the bank's money at a low interest, you have to always check if the car you're shopping for has a low interest rate on it, y'all. Some of these cars have 0%, 0.99%. This is like a finance rebate. It's like the bank saying, here, use our money for free, and we will let, like, you cannot compete. It's no point in going to your credit union. No one can beat it. 0.99%, 1.99. When you can use the bank's money that cheap, you can keep your money making money, and you can keep your money in your bank account. A lot of times in this economy, people want to have their money available. So it's all personal though. If you notice, unless we're talking about leasing or buying, I'm not really going to say something you did was wrong, because it's a case-by-case basis. I'm more about, let me show you the options based on different people, and you pick who you are and you do that. The only thing that I'll tell somebody in a lot of cases they're wrong, almost all, is the leasing versus buying scenario all day. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next question, bring it in from either Instagram, TikTok, somewhere. I mean, or all right, Tina, I want to buy a car and pay it in full, but don't want them to take advantage of me, because if it is, okay, that's kind of a similar question, Tina. We've been talking about that like the whole broadcast. So, like, that's how to shop is kind of what we're talking about. So let's go to the next one and just, stay on the broadcast. The continual theme is nobody on here who's using what they learn from me, what they're learning in this live, what I have on my videos, what's in my book. No one should be worried about being taken advantage of, because you're not shopping the old way anymore. Alejandro, I have equity in my current lease. If I want to purchase the vehicle, could the dealer subtract that equity from the purchase price on the lease contract if I decide to buy it? No. If how do you know you have equity? Your equity is based on someone offering to buy the vehicle from you. So if you listen, equity is based on offers, nothing else. Kelly's Blue Book telling you your car is worth 20 grand is not an offer. Kelly's Blue Book instant cash offer, where they actually have a local dealer or a couple local dealers who will make you an offer, cash, come pick up, hey, bring your car in, we'll give you a check. That's how you assess equity. We do this in step 2. Once we decide whether we're leasing versus buying, which is the foundation of our car deal, you can't get a great deal if you purchased, but you should have leased. Can't get a great deal. It's over. You're on the wrong foundation. You can't get a great deal if you leased and you should have purchased, because the long-term wins you would have gotten, you now lose. Once you move past that, your next step is equity assessment. Look at my current car. If I had, now some of you, Deshone, I don't have a current car, then you skip it. But if you have a current car, a lease, or a car you own, or a car you're paying for, you're financing, equity assessment, which means I'm going to call my bank and I'm going to find out what my payoff is. Then I'm going to go to the actual online buyers and get offers. And then I'm going to see, are my offers, is my highest offer higher than my payoff? That's equity.